Beth. We got a mostly cloudy day on tap for today, but sometimes, like I said yesterday, the cloudy day actually gives you a great sunrise and sunset, and there's a very pretty sunrise right now. That little cloud line over there,
I love it.
From where I'm looking, looks gorgeous. So hopefully your day is going to be beautiful too. We'll see.
Yeah, you little Bob Ross in that delivery.
You know what? Thank you. I couldn't help but
Yeah.
go into that. And hopefully your day is going to be nice too. You'll get hammered later on if you want to. All right. Casey had a question.
You requested the floor.
To pose, yes, to the listening audience this morning. He did request the floor.
I did.
So the floor is given.
It's a social etiquette question, and I don't want to go under fire for even asking this question.
By the way, we don't know what he's going to ask.
Yeah.
No. So don't blame us.
We might shut this down. I don't know.
Yeah, you might.
We'll see.
And it's happened in the past. But I feel like a lot of us have been in this situation.
Okay.
And so if the answer is obvious, I apologize. But if the answer is obvious and it's the opposite of what I think it is, then we have to have a discussion.
Okay.
Going out to dinner in a couple of weeks with a bunch of people. I think there's going to be 10 of us all together. And we're
10
going,
people.
Yeah, and we're going all. We're going to the. Okay, what do you think it is?
It has to do with the bill.
Yeah.
Yes, of course it does.
And alcohol.
No, actually, it's a BYO.
Okay.
It's a BYO, so that's
Which
even
is,
better.
Kathy, is bring your own.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, so it's a
Write that
bring your
down.
own beverage.
The way he looked at me and explained it so. Okay.
But we had this discussion before, and normally, like if we go out to dinner, I have no problems like splitting the check, evenly or whatever.
Right.
And I went out to dinner with all these people in Scottsdale, Arizona. I didn't even know these people. I only knew 2 people at the table. I think I had soup that night, and you guys were like, tough cookies. You got to pay. I'm like, but I had soup, and I felt like
What's your question?
I felt like it was up to everybody else to go.
You're reliving the past. This is a new
What's
time.
the new question?
Anyway, you guys are ruining this for me. No.
You're taking us back to a discussion we had about you. We decided about chipping in equally on that soup. The soup is in the past.
Yeah.
Let the soup go.
Yeah, but this is where I feel like we disagree on things from time to time. So my question is this. We're going to a restaurant where my wife and I have a gift card for this restaurant.
All right.
So the bill comes back. Let's say the bill's $100, right?
This is the meal you're going to be going to with the 10 people.
Yeah.
And you have a gift card.
And we
for
have a
this
gift
place.
card. So my question is, does the gift card just shave that money off of the
No.
bill, or does that count as
No,
our?
that's yours.
That's ours, right?
You're handing money in.
Okay. Oh my God, Kathy, you and I are in agreement.
I
agreement here.
I agree that a gift card is the same as money.
You're paying with something.
It's currency.
It's absolutely fine.
Okay.
It's
Case,
absolutely fine.
So I just went out to dinner. We had a big actually we were there with 10 people, and a bunch of people have gift cards. What I will say is to make it easier, before you go, call and make sure you have the proper amount on that card. You know exactly
Yes.
what's on there, so that you hand it in. You go, it's $50.
It's
or
not
whatever.
even a gift card. It's actually a gift certificate.
Written out.
Because it's
Okay.
like it's not a chain or anything like that.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
says
It's,
give Casey food.
No,
that's
listen,
your money.
as long as
Yeah.
it's taking money off, the charge, the bill, that counts.
It
That's
counts, right?
absolutely counts. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. Because I have been in situations where it's like, oh, we're going to we're just gonna we're gonna take $100 off, and then we'll all pay off of
No.
No, that's your-
the amount.
That is currency.
I
That
think
is
you-
what you're putting into the meal.
I think you could do that if you wanted to.
That's our call, right?
Yes.
All right. And it's not
100%.
expected.
Who's going to
of
force
us.
you to do that?
Oh, wait a minute. We might have a naysayer in the other room,
no.
Marissa.
Who's saying nay?
Hold on.
No, but I have a suggestion for you.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I do this a lot, Casey. I have monthly BYO dinners with friends, and I feel your soup problem. Because as a vegetarian, sometimes we have a very meat-heavy meal, and I end up splitting and paying for everyone's meals, while like my veggie one was a little cheaper. So whatever, I just have to suck it up. What we do though is, and I'm assuming because your wife is very smart with money, you have a credit card that gets good points.
Well, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So you can you can offer to pay for it and put it on your credit card, get the points
And
from
take
the
all the
restaurant,
cash.
People
take
give you
all the
cash,
cash,
yeah.
or get Venmos from everybody, and then that way you actually end up using the whole gift certificate, so you're not stuck with like $17 left on a gift certificate that you're never going to use again.
Right.
You pay that off, and then you have all the
much
money from
work.
everybody. No, it's very easy. You just say, everybody Venmo me this much. This is what it is divided, and then you get to use your whole gift card.
And by the way, I don't drink, so I'm always paying extra in a bill.
That's what I thought you were going to say.
Yeah, I mean, and I honestly, I don't have a problem with that. The only time I ever really had that issue is with the soup issue in Scottsdale, Arizona, where I was like, I only had soup. I only had soup. Somebody needs to step in here and go, hey, you know what?
I only had soup.
He wakes up from his nightmare.
There's a few people who are suggesting that you save the gift card for another time, another visit for you and your wife. I'm just saying. I'm just passing.
No,
on the
I know,
message.
but this place is in South Philly.
It's
You're
okay.
not gonna get back.
We're not going to get back. And in
Gotcha.
fact, the gift card's probably a year or two old. You know, it's still good though.
I noticed that too. Hey, would you be able to take a gift card? All of a sudden, he's Mr. Krabs. By the way, I wrote down the phrase "let the soup go." I don't know what I want to do with that.
Let the soup.
Just let the soup.
Why don't you
go.
forget the soup for a moment?
I think that I think that's perfectly fine. I think no matter what, it's taking money off of the bill. It was gifted to you. It is now your possession. That credit at that particular restaurant. It's totally
currency.
fine to do that. I also think though, Casey, when it comes to splitting the bill, people of a certain age, once you get to a certain level of adulthood, I think it's just you split evenly, even if you just got the soup. Now, if you are very, very hard, if money is very, very in a tight place, I think that's understandable. Yeah, I just got the soup. Or if you're younger and you're, say, still building into
your
adult,
fortune.
Building your nest egg and everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Then maybe you'd be a little bit more picky about dollars and cents when it comes to a bill. But if you get to a certain level of adulthood, it's just like, because I think it all evens out. I think some night you're going to get a steak and they're just going to get the soup. And the same thing's going to happen.
I have a question for servers because I've heard this before and I don't know if it's valid or not. Do servers hate when you split the check?
It's so easy these days.
I think so too, but
I would
I
imagine.
think if you tell them ahead of time, this is what I've heard. If you tell them ahead of time, don't do it after the whole meal.
Well,
you got to do it when you go in, when you sit down, and then it's okay.
What I wanted to finish saying was, do they hate it when you split the check like 5 ways? Like I think it's fine if it's 2 people and or 2 separate bills. But I think when if there's 10 people at this dinner and you split it 5 ways, you might get different tips from different people. And I'm just curious.
Nick,
I don't know what the answer
I'm
is.
considering my own inadequacy in math and all of that. I would, to me, if I were a server, it would be a pain in the ass. But it doesn't seem to be much of an issue.
Okay.
For you people.
I agree. Listen, they do this for a living, and especially a seasoned server will know how to do that very easily. And I'm sure that they have some assistants at most restaurants to split it up evenly. And it's a little more paperwork and a little more, a few more things you have to hand out. But I don't know. We can take some calls from servers. Absolutely. 215-263 WMMR. You can let us know.
So I don't often like to split the check that way or divide it, ahead of time. However, there are people that I go out to dinner with that I have to. I will not share a check with them anymore. Well, one, because they itemize every last glass of water that they've had.
That's too much.
And then they don't tip as much as I do. And I've decided, and it's taken, I'm not kidding you, it has taken before half hour for them to figure out the bill. And I'm like, I'm not doing this with them anymore. So
knock it off, right? It's just annoying.
I mean, knock it the hell off. So if I go out to a restaurant, I will tell the server, and this is my only experience asking a server to split the check. But anytime I've done it, I'm like, if it's a big deal, don't worry about it. And no, it's not a big deal. As long as you tell me now, it's not a big deal. And so that's my only reason.
Essentially, by doing that and letting them know ahead of time, they're going to treat it as 10 separate people coming in for
I guess
that's all.
It is pretty great to not have to do any work, and then just at the end of the night, somebody goes, "Oh yeah, it's $100 a couple." You're, "Oh, thank you so much for doing all that. Here's your $100. I will pay money just to not have to do that math at the end of the night."
I'm always the person at the table that the money and everything comes to me.
Oh.
And I was like, what? And I don't know. I guess I've taken that on, but I'm always the person to figure out the bill and split the bill.
When we were in Chicago, you handled that, I think.
Did
When
you
we were
really?
at Gibson's?
Did I?
I think so.
Yeah, it just, and I don't know.
You and Nick might have been the ones that sat over there and got it all worked out for us.
I'm the same as you, Kath. I do it as well. And even if I had a few drinks or whatever, I want to just make sure that there isn't hurt feelings, that everybody's sort of on the same page. And mostly I want to make sure that the server gets the tip that they're due.
See, I just want it to be done and over with and easy.
Yeah.
Like if
Yes.
I have it, I'm
Same.
splitting it every which way, however many people are at the table. And I will, Case, if somebody just had soup or doesn't drink, I usually will split it and then say, you don't worry about the tip. Like the rest of us
That's
will
what's
take care of
supposed
the
to
tip.
happen. I'm not supposed to be the chief state going, hey, man, I only had soup.
Yeah.
Somebody else is supposed to notice that and go, oh, dude, he only had soup. You know, why don't you just give us $100?
So I'm the wrong metric to apply to this
I know.
because I roll in a different way. But a lot of it is predicated in what you guys are all talking about. That this and that and then and they'll just let me get it.
Yeah.
Steve says, I just had soup. I'll pay for the whole meal.
Yeah, I'll pay for the whole
Because I find myself, Preston, because of that itemizing and all that stuff, it makes me not enjoy the meal knowing that's coming.
That's coming. Yeah.
We had so my buddy Jeff is usually the money guy when we go out to like as a group, and there was one time I guess we just got our signals crossed or whatever, and we all thought Jeff was taking care of the bill. Jeff thought somebody else was, and we left the restaurant. We got chased down in the parking lot like we were stealing.
Whoops.
I know.
Dine and dash.
Wow.
I like going to restaurants every now and then where somebody hands the credit card to the person at the beginning, and nobody thinks about it. And then, like, when the bill comes at the end, everybody's like, no, Steve took care of it.
Yeah.
Let me go to some calls here. First to the gift card thing. Lindsay's been on hold for a little while. Hi, Lindsay. Good morning.
Hey, Durka.
Durka.
What's happening, Lindsay?
Hi. So, actually, our group feels the complete opposite of you. That when we get a gift card and we go out with some good friends, we take it off the bottom, and then we divide it up. And I don't know, it just seems more. We're with good friends. We're having a good time.
There's nothing wrong with that.
There's not. I mean,
if you make the decision ahead of time, and it's kind of a nice thing to do. It's like it's almost found money, but you're not obliged if you have a gift card to take it off the bottom. You can apply it as that's you paying your part of the tab.
Right, but we also had the situation where we went out with a few couples that we're more or less acquaintances with as opposed to really good friends. And they actually started over-ordering because they had a gift card and they knew they were going to use the gift card, and it got everybody pretty aggravated.
Okay, so they were going a little crazy and ending up making all you, when you split the bill, pay more.
Yeah.
All right.
Exactly.
All right. Thank you for your input,
So
Lindsay.
Here's
Appreciate
something,
it.
Preston, that I'll give Claire gift cards to restaurants, and then when we go out to restaurants, she'll try to take out the gift card, and I'm like, no, because it's like I gave myself the gift card because
You
now
want her to use it if you're not
use it for your
there?
friends,
Right.
use it for. Is that
Yeah.
crazy?
No.
Okay.
Hang on. I want to go to some servers now. I have Kim. Hi, Kim. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Ed.
Good morning.
Good morning, Ed. All right, Kim, splitting the bill. What do you think of that as a server?
So I've been a server for a really long time, and the restaurant I work at currently, they make us split it no matter how many people. Even if we have a party of like 25 people and they want to split it 25 ways, they'll make us do it. I hate it.
Okay.
Absolutely hate it.
Just because of the extra work that's involved, all of the wrangling all those bills and the little flap thing that it comes in and all that.
You got a book. You're handing them a book. Yeah.
All those pens.
So I assume you take the amount, you divide it by 20. You've got a calculator or whatever, so you divide it that way. But then you've got to issue the separate bills for each person. That's the pain in the ass, correct?
Yes.
All right.
Correct.
Yeah, but she's not just
splitting up
dividing it.
evenly is easy.
She's got to put who ate what on each bill.
Yes.
Oh, you're talking
Exactly.
about okay, not splitting the bill.
No.
Okay.
Separating it out.
What is more difficult, separating or splitting it?
Separating it out. But that's,
Okay.
that's what they usually want. They want you to separate it out by what they've gotten.
I could see that being a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Oh,
Now,
Big time.
what if Kim? They tell you at the top of the meal, we're gonna all have individual checks and not splitting it, but individual what we owed. Is that a little bit easier? I mean, that's like you're wrangling 5 tables at once, but
I mean, it's still kind of a giant pain. Honestly, none of us like doing it.
Okay.
It's one thing if it's one thing if it's like 5 people. That's not that bad. But 25 people, it's a lot.
Would it help you, Kim, if people did like what Casey did with this huge party and they just tried to beat the bill and run out into the parking lot?
Yeah.
Let me ask you something, Kim. When they split, for your tip wise, when they split the bill evenly, do you tend to get a substantive tip, or is it less than you might have expected?
Or more.
Sometimes it's less. It depends. But what Casey was saying with the gift card, because that also actually just happened to me the other night, the table paid partly with a gift card, and they basically looked at it as a discount on their bill, not payment. So they put me on the discount, like on the minus gift card.
Yes, you have to watch that too, because you got to make sure you're tipping them the proper amount.
Yep, absolutely.
Exactly.
All right, thanks, Kim. We got a bunch of other servers to go to. Appreciate it.
There is a restaurant that I went to that I feel like, and maybe you guys can help me out here. Essentially, there was like an iPad that you ordered with at the table, and you could do.
Was it Bar Taco? Was it?
There's a bunch of restaurants that are doing that now. Olive Garden does that now.
Bar Tacos in King of Prussia, and so that's a place where you sit down and you just order from the table. When you want another round of tacos or another margarita or whatever, you just punch that in. So you don't have a dedicated server.
Is that what you're talking about?
All right, this is different than what I'm talking about. Mine is rounding up the bill and getting all that done. You can do on.
But you could do separate checks that way, right?
Well, it's like separate person by person. So if you are, just have one tape, you want to do your, entire family, put one credit card in. But I went with a friend and we both put separate credit cards in. We just paid for what we ate and drank.
Right.
That floating craft from Oblivion comes out to your table, Preston.
We have those sound effects.
Do we
somewhere.
really?
Yeah. Look up Oblivion in the Vox Pro and see if that comes up. This is your droid or your drone waiter.
I wanted another taco, please.
All right, let's see if we have some other servers who want to chime in. I'm going to go to Kevin next. Hey, Kevin, good morning.
Good morning, you beautiful people.
Oh, you're a beautiful man, Kevin. Look at you. What's up, bud?
I've been a server for some years. My girlfriend is a veteran server. We both absolutely hate splitting checks, mainly when it's over 5 people. Just as Kim was saying, it's a pain. But more importantly, when you're tipping with credit, we don't get paid as much because of taxes. So if you have the cash, tip in cash.
Is that because
always do.
You don't claim the cash every time?
We typically can claim the cash. It will vary from restaurant to restaurant. Cash we typically claim, and we don't get taxed on it. As where if you're going to split all these checks and everyone's tipping credit, we're going to get more taken off overall if you were to rather just tip under one bill.
I also, so quick question to you, Kevin. If someone has a credit card, someone has a gift card, this is what happens when I'm using a gift card. I tip, I'm a pretty good tipper to begin with, but I will tip that much more because I haven't paid for the meal.
Yes, then we love you.
All right, there we go.
All right, thanks, Kevin. Appreciate it. We'll go next to Gabby. Hi, Gabby. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, you're a server, Gabby?
I am. I work at a high-end restaurant.
Okay. And splitting the bill, is that an inconvenience?
Yes, because it's seldom black and white, and there's oftentimes splitting hairs of what exactly they want on their check. And especially when it comes to a larger quantity party, to me it just comes off not tactful, and it just really speaks to an inexperienced diner.
So would you advise if people are going to do that, get everything straight before you end up at the table? In other words, it could help expedite things if everyone is clear on what they're paying for?
It would, but usually it's with a larger group that this is happening.
Right.
So they can very rarely tell you exactly what they're going to be paying for because they haven't ordered yet.
Who had the roast beef?
Yeah.
I didn't even touch it.
Yeah.
Hey, Gabby, I have a question. Do you ever have, because you've done this for a while, do you have diners tip you using a Cash App like a Venmo or an Apple Pay or something like that?
So I've had people inquire before, but our restaurant group doesn't accept that form of payment, so it's not an option for them.
I paid a bill over the holidays, and there was an error when it came to adding the tip to my credit card, and so the server, in a really polite way, came out and asked if we wouldn't mind doing that, and I was like, of course, yeah. So I sent him money via Apple Pay, but that was the first time I've ever done it that way.
Oh yeah, that's not something we've ever been able to entertain.
Our fudgy wudgy people down the shore do Venmo.
There are a lot of restaurants that do that. Probably not bigger places.
Your
like
finer fudgy wudgy restaurant. So I thought there was an issue for a while with the Venmo and Apple Pay. Do you remember there was? I don't know if that pertained to restaurants, but some places were not going to use that form of payment anymore because of a surcharge.
I don't know.
Well, that's if
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
if you're a business.
So you heard
Okay.
that, Gabby?
Yeah, I was going to say that's probably the reason why we're not going down that road is that it's heavily taxed, to my knowledge. And that's like a recent thing that's been implemented. So.
Okay.
I think it depends on the app and the way in which you're paying. I mean, like the server that I paid, it was just from my bank account to his via Apple Pay.
Yeah, it's if it's a business
right.
Venmo account, you
Okay.
get taxed on.
All right, thank you, Gabby. Appreciate it. All right, so it
I see.
sounds-
You paid him directly.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
My tip didn't work on my credit card. They had a computer issue, and he came out and he was like, "Hey man, I didn't get this tip properly. Would you mind doing it via Apple Pay or Venmo or whatever?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's no problem at all." So I just sent him cash.
All right, we'll go next to Paige, another server. Hi, Paige. Good morning.
Hi, long-time caller, or long-time listener, first-time caller.
I like both ways.
I
work.
like that
yeah,
too.
yeah.
Long-time caller, first-time listener.
That you were so impressed. You've been calling radio station. You said, this is the one I'm going to listen to.
Yeah. All right, Paige. You used to be a server, it says here.
Yeah, I was a server for a long time. So my biggest pet peeve was if it was like a big table, I would say like 5 or 6 at the max, like separating a bill. Because trying to keep track of like a 10 top when you're busy and you have 4 other tables and
Yeah.
what he got and what she got, and
Yeah.
then having to run like multiple different cards at the end of the night is like just not a fun time.
Yeah.
Paige, my wife for the
Thanks.
longest time worked at like a huge a banquet place where there'd be 40 people at a table, and sometimes they would have like a la carte and they'd have all these things, and the amount of paper they burned up in separate checks and bills is just too much.
I have Kate next, server as well. Hi, Kate. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. Kate says you were a server for a pretty long time.
Yes, for about 20 years.
All right. And what do you think about splitting the check?
Oh, my God. It's awful. It is so awful.
All right.
There's nothing more. So I work at a bar where people like are there for the night to watch bands. So they're there for 4 or 5 hours. They're drinking, and you have 15 people that want 15 separate checks. You have to keep track of.
So that
who wants what.
Yeah, I could see that. So, like at a restaurant, it might be a little better because you're having your app, your main course, whatever. It's a little, but when you're dealing with essentially each person doing 9 or 10, 11 separate purchases because they're getting drinks and other stuff, that becomes a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it's such a pain.
No,
And
that
it's
makes
also a pain because we're like a mom and pop restaurant bar. So my boss is getting hit with every credit card charge.
Uh-huh.
You have 10 credit cards, so they're getting 3% on every card. It's a big hit. Like,
Yeah.
I know they're there to make money, too.
Oh, so
but
So she's not talking. All right. So
Yeah. Thank you, Kate.
she's talking about handing multiple credit cards in
Yeah.
to pay for. Yeah, but what do you expect people to do? I'm not paying for somebody else's dinner. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think she's saying, we do it a different way because, I mean, you pay for it the way you want to pay for it, I think. But I think just
Can't believe that bitch. She's got her own jewelry collection.
juggling all of that is a little bit more of a pain.
Well,
I
so
don't know.
this whole time I thought we were talking about itemizing the bill and splitting it in like this is what you ate, this is what I
I think we're
ate.
talking about both.
Both,
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
I think that-
but that was a whole. I didn't realize that some servers hated that, like taking 3 different credit cards and
Right.
splitting the bill that way.
Yeah.
But I think more servers would probably prefer if you did the separating and just putting the money into a pot
Yeah.
that way.
There's a difference between separating the bill and splitting the bill.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And if the bill's not going to be that, but you can use this tactic. It's really good, especially if it's not like a big group of people. But before the check arrives at your table, you pick somebody out at the table who might be able to cover the whole bill, and you say, "Hey, Kathy, I think I speak for everybody here when I say thank you for taking care
You
of the bill
do that
tonight."
all the time.
Casey does that at almost every meal we gather
So
together.
good. That's not true.
Marissa?
And just to throw in what I think that bartender was saying too is if you're going to be hanging out for a while, don't just like buy one drink, pay with your credit card, close it out, and then do it again over and over. Just open it up for the night, leave it going so they can do it so they don't get the surcharge every time they swipe.
I would think
Okay.
the norm
Does that
would be
make
to just
sense?
leave your credit card there. I mean, everyone buying one drink per credit.
Yeah.
All right. I see
All
what
right.
you're saying.
I think what we can take from this is if you are in a situation where you do have a server and you've got a large party and you, for whatever reason, you're having separate checks,
Yeah.
if it's itemized or just split, if they're working extra hard, you should reflect that in the tip.
You need to
You
go
should
on
tip them
living
a little bit
separate
more.
checks.
Go on living separate checks. No, I think you should reflect that in the tip if you see them wrangling and juggling all this stuff and it's a little extra work. Just know that for your server, it's more work, and you should probably give them a little bit more. In casing, I'm behind you guys totally about using the gift card as actual cash. I think that's fine.
Oh, thank God.
I think within the room here, we all agree.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
That's
Now,
it.
you need to talk to someone about the soup, though.
Yeah. No, I think we
not
covered
going
it. I think
Let
you let
the
me
soup
know.
go.
Yeah.
All right, we need to take a break. A reminder, we have a secret text word, your chance to win tickets to see Sarah Silverman. She's performing at Ocean Casino Resort in Atlantic City, February 4th. Text word secret to 39333. When we come back, we're going on television. Fox Good Day. It's a Wednesday thing, and we have the Bizarre File coming up, too. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Finally, we're getting to use it.
Yeah, exactly. They have arrived in our studio via the UK, and we actually hung out with them in London. They came by our live broadcast when the Eagles were playing, and we did a few days in London, and they are in town filming for their YouTube series, and they're great people. We love them. Give some love to Joel and Leah.
Thanks for having us.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Yeah. We're good. We're even happier you've used that music.
Yeah.
Of course.
Very royal.
Iconic. As soon as it came on, I was like, this is incredible.
Any American show, whenever, and this has been for decades, whenever they go to London or England, there is a stock shot of Big Ben, and that's the music that plays to show the transition. It is almost guaranteed.
They'll show a car going across Tower Bridge, and
and that's it.
the music
every
gets
time.
played.
Oh, I know where we are.
Yeah.
And of course, you'll hear like the Paris. You get the Eiffel Tower.
Oh, yeah.
All the stand. Oh, here's where we are.
Yeah, every time. So listen, you guys, when did you get to the States?
Tuesday.
On Tuesday.
Yeah.
And
Tuesday.
flew into Philadelphia or New York, or where'd you go?
Yeah, Philadelphia. We got
Philadelphia.
detained. That was
You got
fun.
detained?
I told Casey about it. It was, we were terrified. US border control. So scary.
So detained, what did they...
Well, detained might be a bit dramatic, but they took us aside. They took our passports away, took us into secondary questioning.
Oh.
They separated us. They went through all our luggage. They were asking us all these probing
Joel,
questions.
my palms are sweating as we read
I know,
it.
same.
Like, I'm getting it. We're so innocent. That's
And
the problem.
they don't smile at you, right? Like there's no like, don't worry, we're just gonna. It's like you think you're, something.
The thing to do,
Yeah.
and the way to deflect immediately, if you ever get in that situation, is say, we don't have any bombs.
Yeah, I've heard
and then
that.
they'll react. No, it is a weird thing, and I think a lot of people go through. I know I do. I'm always like, I know that I'm completely. There's nothing. It's clean, but
Yeah,
you're
but
like,
you're
you
nervous.
can't help it when they start pointing their attention at you. You're going to start getting nervous.
I know.
Yeah. I
And
was like, Joel, we need to get our story straight. He was like, what story? we just tell the truth.
If you're not familiar with Joel and Leah, they have this YouTube series, and they do a lot of comparisons to American culture and British culture, and that's where they jumped on our radar because they'll do fun things like sampling food. I watched a video this morning of you, Joel, driving in the United States for the first time.
Yeah.
And that was in Orlando,
gosh,
I
it's
think.
playing.
Yeah,
Oh
it
my
was. Yeah.
Listen, when we went to London, after spending a couple days, in advance, I'm like, I'm wondering if I could be able to drive here or not. And after spending a couple days, actually 5 minutes, I'm like, no way would I be able to. And London is a major metropolitan area. So being able to drive in, maybe I could pull it off in the country, but in a city, forget it, man.
Really? You think you could do country roads? They are terrifying. They're
Are
so
they?
small and narrow, and you feel like everyone's going to hit you, and it's really scary.
Okay,
Do you know
I'll
what
just
happens?
write off the whole country.
Anytime, so years ago we'd gone over when Guinness was giving away. They used to have a promotion where they give away pubs in Ireland. Like you'd get the pub, you'd get the whole business. And so we went over, and I don't think we even drove then, Preston. I think Marilyn's friend drove around.
Yeah.
Like, I'm always thinking of that story years ago when, remember, Matthew Broderick was over, and he was driving with, I think, Aaron, who was
Yeah.
from
Jennifer
Jennifer Gray.
Gray, yeah.
And they were on the wrong side of the road, and they collided with the family, and it was a horrible story.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, because it's such a you've been driving so long here.
Yeah. You've trained your
my
whole
fear
life.
is I would just lapse back into the wrong
Yeah.
side.
Did you like driving on the right side of the road?
It was scary, and I did start driving with one foot on each pedal because I drive a manual, so an automatic. And Leah was like, "Why is it so jerky?" And she's like, "Have you got a foot on each pedal?" I was like, "Yeah."
We
so
sound like so intelligent on this show.
But it was easy in the end because your roads are wider. I
Yeah.
feel like, especially in Florida, people don't get angry. There's so much road rage in the UK, and like
gosh, yeah.
in
Is there?
Florida, they were just like, "Nah, you cut me up, it's fine."
It's really funny because Brits are quite polite. Well, we're kind of polite-ish, but But then on
Not
the
in a car.
road, we
Yeah.
have this alter ego where we feel like we can say anything behind the car.
And there probably
Yeah.
is road rage here, but just where we were in Florida,
yeah,
they
there's
were just.
No, there is.
Yeah.
But I'm
Plenty of
surprised to hear that there's a lot in England. Everyone does seem. I mean, obviously, you always make these sweeping general. Everyone's so pleasant, but you're saying that that's out on the road behind the wheel. It's a
Yeah.
different story.
Totally different story.
Oh.
yeah.
But you know what? It's probably not scary to you guys because it's just like, oh, you idiot.
Right.
Yeah.
So while you're in the area, how much time are you spending in Philadelphia and filming here?
So yeah, we have 6 days in total.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Which is kind of short, but we're hoping to just do all the touristy stuff, and obviously we're
Okay.
going to try a Philly cheesesteak as well. So we haven't
First
done that yet.
time.
First
Oh.
time, yeah. So
A
excited.
Philly cheesesteak, you got to try several of them.
Yeah,
Several.
all of them.
There's, it's you can't. I mean, they're all over the place. And so,
Oh, wow.
But we can point you guys in the right direction if you need some places to go to. Yeah.
When you travel, because when we came over to London, you sort of feel compelled to do the touristy stuff.
Yeah.
But you don't necessarily get a taste of the city or the country when you do that. When you guys travel, do you bang out the touristy stuff and then dive a little deeper, or what's your approach?
It's really funny. Tell them about the love thing.
Well, yeah, so everyone was banging on about the love sculpture here, and I'm like, you need to see it. And then we got there, and it was just like this tiny little love
Yeah,
sculpture.
right.
We looked at it and we went, no, surely not.
Surely not.
Surely
But we
not.
do try to hit all of the touristy stuff.
Wait, so you didn't like the love statue?
We just
I
went,
thought it'd
no,
be
we've not
huge."
come halfway across the world for that. No, come on.
Like,
Make
it's all
it make
very
sense.
cute. Like, oh, it's nice. Love's great. We love love.
Oh, we
But
love love.
It's just a very small sculpture.
You're right. It's not.
It's unimpressive.
Yeah, it's not like an art masterpiece. As in, wow, how did they make?
It's the
that,
word
you
love.
know?
Yeah.
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 It's
But
like-
it's a nice positive message. It's,
Yeah. We thought, no wonder they detained us at the airport. They don't believe we're tourists. There's nothing to see.
Right. They're just bored. Well, it's like the Liberty Bell, which whenever somebody comes here, I never say go see the Liberty Bell. It's underwhelming. It's a crack bell. I get it, but there's a lot of stuff down there that And we did a thing years ago about people have lived here all their lives and have not seen it. It's just so you will leave, I'm sure, seeing more than a lot of Philadelphians have seen in your 6 days here.
Okay.
Do you guys do all the planning of what you want to do while you're here, or do you? Yeah, you do it.
So loose planning, don't we? And then most of it's just like make it up as we go along. But we will have a few.
And we get recommendations from our viewers as well. We rely heavily on that because we want to make videos for them. So we're like, well, what do you want to see?
Yeah.
So most of the times it will be all the touristy stuff. And we would like to go off the beaten track, but we don't often have the time to do that.
Well, I think that's the charm, is that you're doing the stuff that everyone says initially would say, I'd like to check that out. So these recon trips where you're going and you come here, and obviously most of what you do is predicated on the differences and similarities. How many times a year, outside of a COVID scenario, would you make the trip to the States?
Yeah, we used to do quite a few, didn't we?
Yeah.
And then COVID just sort of meant that couldn't happen. So,
Maybe
what we're
3
aiming
trips
for?
a year?
At least 3?
3 or 4.
Yeah, 3 or 4. That's cool.
Yeah.
I feel like 6 days, you can get like everything done and then some in 6 days here.
Yeah.
Like, no doubt. I don't even know what you've done so far and what you have planned for today.
So, what have we done so far, Joel? You're the
So
map.
far-
Joel's the map.
We
I'm just the wandering follower.
we went to Reading Terminal Market for
Okay.
breakfast.
Good cause.
Loved it.
That was nice.
Well,
and
did
then
you go to Denick's? Because there's a one of the shops in there has what has been labeled the greatest sandwich in the United States is
Wow.
at Reading Terminal Market.
Really? Did they just write that on the poster,
Yeah,
or did they actually?
They
been
didn't write
there?
it. It was I can't remember which foodie or which but it was like
Yeah.
it wasn't a Philadelphian who said it. It was
Okay.
somebody who has toured the whole country and said this is
That
the
is the
greatest.
best sandwich.
You will bet. I mean, there's a lot of great food here. That's one thing. I mean, Philly, over the course of the time that we've been doing the show, has become a real foodie city.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of great stuff to check out. And as Preston was right, you can't do one cheesesteak. You're going to have to do a
Okay.
couple.
Okay.
Yeah, well,
That's fine with
That's
us.
interesting. Yeah, I can see the title now of that video. We tried the best sandwich in America.
Yes,
That'd
yeah,
be
right.
quite
That'd
good.
be
Yeah.
good. We also talking about soft pretzels. Apparently that's a
Apparently
Philly
that's a thing.
Someone
It
said
is.
tomato pie. And then I
Yes.
told that to someone and they were like, "What is
Yes.
that?"
That's
Is
what we
that-
call
what
it
is
too.
that?
Tomato
Oh,
pie.
tomato.
Tomato pie.
Tomato pie. Yeah. So yes, it's kind of like pizza.
Okay.
But
Without the cheese.
Without the cheese,
Oh,
and it's
cold.
usually
It's
served
cold.
cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
and
really
it has a
nothing like
sweetness to
pizza.
it too.
It's sweet.
It's
yeah.
You're really
sweet,
selling it, guys.
Yeah, it's unique and it's good, but
Corporalese.
Corporalese.
You gotta
Corporalese.
send you to
Corporalese.
Corporalese to get there.
Okay.
They're our favorite tomato pie for sure.
And the sweetness, I think, is what will surprise you. Is that it definitely has that taste to it. And it took a while for me to acclimate to it. You probably also have to do crab fries, right?
Ooh.
Yeah, Chickies and Pete's.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
those
crab
are
fries.
good.
Why do you call us? We would give you a whole list.
There's
Listen,
so much food
I
choice,
put
yeah.
I put Leah in touch with Marissa. I said she is Philadelphia, like and anything and everything that you need to know. And actually, because you're Greek as well.
Yeah.
One of her best friends owns a Greek restaurant, and it's was it called Hopa?
Oppa.
Yeah.
Oppa.
Oppa.
Yeah,
I love
and
that.
so she owns a nice restaurant in the city of Philadelphia. But like,
That's
if you
awesome.
really needed to consult anybody about anything you needed to see and do in the city, Marissa's your person.
Is there a Sixers game while they're here?
There's a Sixers, yeah, and LeBron James is in town.
Is
LeBron
that,
James.
wow, you're joking?
Yeah.
Wow, I thought I pretended to be a fangirl then, but that's quite impressive. Isn't
Yeah,
it? Is that like the Wells Fargo?
Yeah.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Well, I did do a little bit of research. Yeah.
Where are you guys staying in the city, downtown?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So we won't say where.
No,
exactly. You know.
Yeah.
Last time we said where we were in a
Oh my
hotel,
gosh.
we just got so much food sent to the hotel, so maybe we
my
should
gosh.
say it.
Honestly,
We got
they kept
Cuban
calling
sandwiches,
us.
we got cheese, deliveries of just cheese, because we said on a live stream how we
We
wanted
said we were hungry.
cheese.
They
and
started
then-
sending food.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
So-
amazing.
Bruno Brothers.
That's very cool that your viewers are that
Yeah.
nice and that look
Amazing.
out
Oh,
for
they
you.
are, yeah.
We got to send them to Italian Market. Take a look
Yes.
at that down that way because you mentioned cheese. De Bruno Bros is down there, right?
Yeah, De Bruno's actually all over the place.
Are you
Yeah.
guys museum people?
Nah.
We've got a cool one. We've
There's
got
one
a
called
super cool
The
one.
Muter Museum. It's,
Yeah.
it's written like mutter, but it's pronounced Muter Museum, and it's oddities, and it's weird like medical
Medical.
anomalies and stuff like that. And so, and it's really
It's a good day now.
Besides look, but it still bothers her that he's just always checking people out.
Now, I don't think she wants to like divorce him or anything, but Preston and Steve and everybody there. Steve, let's start with you.
Sure.
What should she do about his wandering eye?
I'll tell you what I do. My man has filet mignon at home, so he better not be eyeballing hamburgers.
That's right. Yeah.
I think. I think it's you should be respectful and not be gawking, but it's a natural thing, and I think there's a happy medium there. If he starts to unzip, then he's carried it too far. Right? Would you agree with that,
Well,
Preston?
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but simply catching someone's eye is understandable. Jumping across the table, not so much.
Agreed.
Do you agree?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Look at me, the voice of reason.
Look at you.
But isn't the point for y'all to look, but not where we know you're looking? Like, that's the whole game.
Well,
Do it so we don't notice.
Yeah, or my wife better not find me the most attractive man on earth because I'm going to have her. I'm going to have her go in for therapy.
What you need to do is if someone catches your eye, they're attractive, and you find yourself appreciating for a moment, and you happen to be with your significant other, is you also have to then look in the other direction for a moment as if something caught your eye over there. Like, wow, look, that's
The Westminster Dog Show.
yeah. Or a Chrysler Cordoba. I haven't seen one of those in ages. So
you deflect.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Don't women look at attractive
No.
humans?
No, what do you mean?
Kathy Wolf whistles all the time.
Yeah. No, listen, I don't think you should be mad about that. Like Steve said, you're going to look. If I see a pretty woman with her, maybe some cleavage hanging out, I'm looking too.
What about you, Alex?
Guys, hey, you see her? Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Participate in it.
Hey, wow, look at that. That was something.
Right. I
Are
mean,
you in a relationship with them?
I mean, it's conversation. I know you're going to look anyway. Let's look together.
yeah, and then invite that person into the bedroom. Right? I think that's the logical conclusion.
Sure.
But why do you think women wear big sunglasses? So we can have all the rain.
Ah.
There you go, Alex.
There you go. Very smart.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Take care, guys. We'll see you later. So we missed the beginning of the setup. Apparently, there was a woman who was at dinner, and this guy that she's with, I don't know if it was her husband or her significant other, was looking at a woman and was being very obvious about it, and she was concerned.
I mean, what is very obvious? If the tongue falls on the table,
Yeah,
all
he's
the Looney Tunes, and
Yeah, exactly.
wah, wah.
I don't know, but that's a discussion you need to have, if that is the case. Tone it down, hon.
Yeah.
All right. We have to take a look at traffic because we did not do that before. Let's have it now. Kath, what's going on?
A disabled vehicle in Camden, 676 northbound at Atlantic Avenue. The off-ramp closed because of it. 42 freeway northbound, heavy from Blackwood Clementon Road to 295. 55 northbound, jam Stepford to 42. And then that construction on the New Jersey Turnpike northbound at 73. It's in the right lane. Coming across the Ben Franklin Bridge westbound, you have some volume from the downside to 8th and Vine. 95 southbound, jams Academy through to Bridge, the Betsy Ross Bridge to Girard. Northbound side from the Betsy Ross Bridge to Cotman. That's through the construction zone. Blue Route northbound, heavy 95 to the Media Bypass. Southbound, Mid-County tolls to the Schuylkill, and then from the bypass to Baltimore Pike. Schuylkill eastbound, backing up from the Blue Route into Belmont, the Boulevard to Spring Garden. Westbound, Passyunk to South Street, the Boulevard to Belmont, the Blue Route out to 202. Pennsylvania Turnpike westbound, volume between Virginia Drive and Fort Washington, and then on 422 eastbound, you're slow, Limerick to Royersford. This traffic report brought to you by The Tile Shop. It's your destination for ceramic, porcelain, and natural stone tile and luxury vinyl tile. Explore a wide range of unique looks and exclusive designs. Visit your local Tile Shop showroom to start loving the home you're in. And that's your traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
All right, Bizarre Files store.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
All right, this morning it is brought to you by Helium Comedy Club, bringing the laughs to Philly for many years. Helium Comedy has the best comics of today and tomorrow, live every week, and tickets and lineup available at heliumcomedy.com. Police officers tried to help a drunk man at a subway station and realized he was packing a bizarre-looking homemade rifle in his pants, leading to his arrest over the weekend.
Putting the rifle in the pants.
And it's a homemade one. So
right.
Melvin Montoya was found drunk inside the 149th Street Grand Concourse Saturday. Cops jumped in.
There's this thing in the stock that tells time.
To aid him, and that's when they noticed a long, heavy metal object going down his leg. The officers frisked him. He allegedly reached for the crudely made weapon, which made the NYPD's Emergency Services Unit, actually, they later determined that it was a gas-operated one-shot rifle.
What could go wrong?
Yeah, so
It'd probably kill him.
The photos of the handmade gun were obtained and show a long metal wrench-like device with screws and what appears to be a lever. Montoya allegedly told cops he built the device himself and that it was capable of firing rounds.
And the best part is you can conceal it in your pants.
He was charged with multiple counts of criminal possession of a weapon, one for possession of a disguised gun, and another for carrying a gun as a convicted felon. An explosion in Russia's Belgorod, that's it, yes, Russia's Belgorod region, that killed 3 soldiers and injured 16 others was caused by a sergeant who set off a grenade at his unit as he tried to, quote, establish authority.
Yes.
The blast reportedly occurred at a military facility in Belgorod. It is located near the Ukrainian border and houses several Russian military bases and training grounds.
Could he have perhaps spoken in an authoritative manner?
He should have considered that option.
Before the grenade.
The explosion occurred at a cultural center repurposed to house mobilized troops. Russian emergency services said that the sergeant accidentally detonated a hand grenade, which caused ammunition to blow up and started a fire. The man who caused the blast picked up an RGD-5 grenade in order to establish authority over his troops. After the explosion, ammunition detonated and a fire erupted in an area of 450 square meters. It took firefighters about 4 hours to extinguish it. According to the statement, 16 servicemen, including a culprit, have been taken to the hospital. 3 more died. A criminal investigation has been opened into the explosion.
Thank God he wasn't looking to make his point by the nuclear missiles.
Yeah. 2 men have been charged in connection to a scheme to defraud the Pennsylvania Turnpike of $1 million or more in tolls. According to U.S. Attorney Gerard Karam, 43-year-old Duvani Zambrano from Hamilton, New Jersey, and 37-year-old Sergio Jara from Allentown began acquiring thousands of Easy Pass transponders from retailers in Pennsylvania and New Jersey beginning in 2018.
So they were legally purchasing them?
I don't know how they got them.
All right.
But it said they began acquiring them.
Wow.
The indictment alleges that the two men then registered the transponders using false personal information and false credit card information. That's where it is.
Okay.
Prosecutors say they sold the transponders to truckers in the New Jersey area who traveled on the Pennsylvania Turnpike hauling materials. According to the release, Zambrano, Jara, and others avoided paying approximately $1 million in tolls.
Yeah, you can accrue that money pretty quickly.
They are currently scheduled for trial in March. The maximum penalty under federal law for this offense is 20 years of imprisonment, a term supervised release following imprisonment, and a fine as well.
What's the current state? You go through some toll booths, and are they just operating strictly on tags now, or I have the Easy Pass set. Sometimes it's hard to delineate.
From what I understand, they do both, and that it is less costly to have the Easy Pass.
Yeah, there's a discount on the Easy Pass.
All right.
A South Florida fair auction is spurring up some controversy after one family says that they won a bid for a pig and walked away empty-handed. Bella B. Swine is on her way to being slaughtered.
No.
Well, one family in Palm Beach Gardens said that they are trying everything in their power to stop this. Meg Weinberg says that she went to the fair on Saturday in hopes of bringing back a live pig. She said, we lost a pig, Wilbur, recently. So I went in and I started bidding. Meg and her husband put up $4,700 for Bella, but instead of going home with the pig, fair organizers informed the family they would only be going home with its meat. Bella had to be butchered or the deal was off the table.
How can that be a constraint of the deal?
Weinberger said they wouldn't take our credit card, and they told us that it was a state law that she had to be slaughtered.
Oh.
Vicky Corris, the president and CEO of the South Florida Fair, said the rules have been clean from the start. She said that kids across 18 counties raise the livestock animals for the food chain and that it is a lesson on agriculture.
It might be time for Babe, attorney at law.
The process is, she said, that they raise the animals for food consumption. So to change the rules just because someone wants to take an animal home is not ethical. These children...
I mean, what are they going to do, sit there and pet bacon?
...are being taught how to follow rules. I think the kids would get over it, to be honest, and maybe teach them that you can sell livestock for not only meat and consumption, but also for other purposes.
They were looking to take it as a pet, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
However,
It's a bummer.
Without seeing these rules on their website and brochures, you may not know what you're actually buying. Megan Weinberger and her husband say no signs were displayed at the auction that outlined that this was a terminal market, and they have a home for Bella at their animal sanctuary among horses, geese, and donkeys. The local news station asked if there was a notice that this was a terminal bid when they signed an agreement with the auction. Corris said, unfortunately, it was not there. It will be in the future, and we are all learning from this. Organizers say they did not charge the Weinberg family, but the child who raised the pig will still receive money for her hard work. As for Bella, her meat will be given to a charitable organization, according to the fair. So they're going to kill her. They're definitely going forward with that.
I see a good movie here, something with Sean Penn.
Think so?
Yeah.
Okay, he might roll in as a caring,
something intense
pig owner.
What was it? It was the with Susan Sarandon on Death Row.
Yeah.
Death Row
Man
Pig.
Walking.
Dead Pig Walking.
Dead Pig Walking.
Yeah.
All right, one more story. A 35-year-old man has been arrested and charged with felony grand theft after allegedly stealing a cockatoo valued at about $2,500 from the Steckle Park Bird Aviary. While tending their nightly chores at around 3 a.m., caretakers at the facility discovered one of their birds, an umbrella cockatoo named Julie, had been stolen from its habitat.
Julie.
Deputies responded to the scene, collected evidence, and noted that the wire siding of the bird's enclosure had been cut. Facility caretakers posted about the cockatoo on several social media platforms. Later that same morning, an anonymous party provided information on the stolen bird. As the investigation unfolded, detectives identified Michael Ware as the alleged cockatoo thief.
Julie Jerkoff.
He was...
Forgive me, Kirkhoff.
Oh, you should teach your bird to say that.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. So the 35-year-old had stolen Judy. The evidence was collected and is now facing charges. And there you go. That is what I have in the bizarre file for you. All right, we're going to take a break. And you know what we're going to do when we get back? We're going to play a game. We have a contest all set up and ready to go for you. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to play Bass Backwards.
Yes, it's a mind blower.
In a little while. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Is that like the Wells Fargo?
Yeah. Look at you.
Yeah.
Well, I did do a little bit of research. So, yeah.
Where are you guys staying in the city, downtown?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So we won't say where.
No,
exactly.
no.
Yeah.
Last time we said where we were in a
Oh my
hotel,
God.
we just got so much food sent to the hotel, so maybe we
Oh my
should
God.
say it.
Honestly,
We got
they kept
Cuban
calling
sandwiches,
us.
we got cheese, deliveries of just cheese, because we said on a live stream how we
We
wanted
said we were hungry.
cheese.
They
and
started
then-
sending food.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
So
was amazing.
that's very cool that your viewers are that
Yeah.
nice and that look
Amazing.
out
Oh,
for
they
you.
are, yeah.
We
And-
got to send them to Italian Market. Take a look
Yes.
at that down that way because you mentioned cheese. De Bruno Bros is down there, right?
Yeah, De Bruno's actually all over the place.
Are you
Yeah.
guys museum people?
We've got a cool one. We've
There's
got
one
a
called
super cool
The
one.
Muter Museum. It's
Yeah.
written like mutter, but it's pronounced Muter Museum, and it's oddities and it's weird like medical
Medical.
anomalies and stuff like that. And it's a really cool building on top of it. So if you want to go see some weird, gross stuff, Philly's your place.
They have
We
a,
like
like a
that.
gigantic colon.
Yeah.
I mean,
As a
literally,
matter of
I mean,
fact-
like the
Okay, wow.
weird. They have the skeleton of what was the one time the tallest man in the world? Yes, right.
Yeah, I was at the Casey Musgraves concert last night at
Oh,
the
wow.
Wells,
Yeah,
at
I
the
saw
Wells
she was
Fargo
on.
Center, and she has been in town for the last couple of days. She went to the Muter Museum.
Oh,
and
that's awesome.
If
Yeah.
it's good enough for Casey, it's good enough
Enough
for
for
us.
us, yeah.
you know?
We were reading all about her in Nashville at that country music museum, weren't we?
Yeah, we did.
So I say we don't like museums, we actually do.
Yeah, it depends. Just not modern art. I don't like modern art.
know.
Museums.
All right, we will.
We'll steer you that way. Well, I see that our callers are getting on the line, and I think I want to take this out for a spin because one of the things that always surprises us here is when we'll be watching a show, a movie, something like that, and you get to know a character, even sometimes over a few seasons. And then we'll hear an interview with them, and it turns out this person who we thought was from America is a Brit, and they have mastered the accent. And in fact, Kate Winslet, a show called Mayor of Easttown, which took place in this area, had to master not only just the American accent, but specifically, she took it from where Casey is from, Delaware County. We call it Delco.
Yeah.
So it's got a very specific accent, and she said it was the most difficult accent she ever tried to master. And she nailed it. She nailed it spot on.
I mean, she's
Amazing.
winning awards right and left for it. Yeah.
That's incredible.
So we wanted to do a game with you guys called Brit or Not a Brit.
Ooh, fun.
Gosh, okay.
We have a series of callers
Okay.
that are going to speak. We've given them something to say.
Oh, gosh.
Some of them are British and some of them are American, but they're all going to be attempting a British accent.
Okay.
Or
And
just
you
talking.
have to determine whether they are legitimately British or not.
100% Joel's going to be really good at this.
Oh, yeah?
I
I'll
think,
try.
yeah.
I did a degree in
He did
linguistics,
Yeah.
so
Well, there you go. That's
I love
good.
accents. But I say that I probably, I'll be terrible.
Okay.
Well, the
we'll
funny
see.
thing
We'll find
is
out.
that as you know, because as you know, you're obviously spent a lot of time in the States. Obviously, there are different dialects throughout the United States. For England, for the size that it is, there are a tremendous amount of different dialects.
Yeah,
it's pretty wild.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Do you have a particular accent? If someone would somebody be able to pick out what region you're from?
I think they would say generic sort of south of the UK accent for both of us. Leah's got a
Probably
slight
Midlands
twang.
yeah, I'd say I'm Midlands RP.
Yeah, so you're sort of in the middle of the
Yeah.
UK. So yeah, people could place us, but not so specifically. I
But
think.
It's so funny when some of our American viewers are like, Leah, you sound like Adele. I'm like, I really,
Like
I really
Adele.
don't. I really
She's from a
don't.
completely different area.
But she's a bit sharper, right?
Yeah.
Do you guys have a favorite or least favorite British accent?
I love Welsh. Oh, I love a bit of Welsh. I do. And I heard that Philadelphia's got a Welsh
Yeah.
bit of history here.
Well, in fact,
Sure.
yes, where you're at, Balakinwood is
Yeah.
it's a Welsh name.
Yeah.
It's spelled Balacynd. That's how you spell Balakinwood. So that's clearly a Welsh
Yeah.
derivation.
When you mock, when you are trying to make like a classic, stereotypical, goofy British accent, which do you target for it? What region do you target?
You'd probably end up being Birmingham, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you like Birmingham.
Yeah.
And Birmingham has been voted as like the ugliest UK accent for years and years, which is so sad because it's a quirky accent.
Yeah, it's nice.
But no, I
I
think
love
we
them
just go
all.
for a posh, like us, but
Right.
times 10.
Of course, I'm always doing when we do the royal family. We do
That's how he speaks.
Yes.
Very good, Steve.
Right, but I mean, so and everything that I do is a very over exaggerated thing because that's how it resonates with people. But I love the subtleties, so we'll see how you guys do with this.
You kind of do a little Cockney thing sometimes.
Yeah,
too,
now
so-
and then.
yeah. He goes,
It's funny though. What is amazing, we learned about Cockney, and I was just watching To Sir with Love, again when Sidney Poitier passed away. That Cockney speak, that jumbled
that
word,
ryming.
yeah.
Can you follow it, or do you need to be from the neighborhood to know what some of that stuff is?
It's almost like speaking in metaphors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things would ping out, wouldn't they? Like
Yeah.
apple and stairs, we know apple and pears mean stairs,
Yes.
things like that. But we can, if someone was actually speaking it, which I don't think I've ever met
It's
anyone.
kind
who
of dying
speaks to me
out
in it.
now.
Yeah.
So, like parents' generations that are from that area, then it kind of has now dissolved.
I
the
assume when you
Cockney
speak
line.
that way and you're calling for an ambulance and they can't figure out where you are, that's why you're dying out. 'cause
That's
you
it.
can't get medical assistance.
All right, so we are going to play Brit or not a Brit. All right, and we've got callers on the line, and here's the story. We have given them.
We had to play that.
We've given them lines from movies that are based in Philadelphia
Okay.
to say to you. So if whatever they're saying makes no sense to you at all, don't worry about it. It's from a Philly movie.
Preston,
so,
by happenstance, I watched both Rocky and the second half of Philadelphia last night.
Oh, perfect.
Yes, I'm all prepped.
You're up to speed on this. All right, so let's get our first caller on the line. Is this the order that we're going in? Yes. All right, we're going to go to Jen. Jen, good morning.
Morning to you.
All right, Jen, you are going to read a movie line for Joel and Leah, and let's see if we can figure out if you're a Brit or not a Brit. So go ahead, please.
You know what crazy is? Crazy is majority vote. Take germs, for example. In the 18th century, no such thing. Nada. Nothing. No one ever imagined such a thing. No sane person, anyway. Hey, look at this doctor.
Can't give a straight face.
No, she was good.
Okay, all right. Let's
She
find.
was quite good.
Let's find out officially.
So
Leah,
tragic.
Leah, what do you think, Brit or not a Brit?
I think not a Brit.
All right, and Joel, Brit or not a Brit?
Not a Brit.
All right, Jen, what are you? Where are you
not
from,
a
Jen? Where are you from, Jen?
I am from Newark, Delaware.
Newark, Delaware. Not a Brit. All right, so somebody keep score, by the way.
They
I
knew
got it.
immediately.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was a bit over the top.
Wasn't bad though.
No, it was decent. She was just it was just a bit augmented.
Right. It's like the way I do it.
What movie was that, by the way?
Yeah,
Do
what
we
movie?
even know?
Anybody? Do you know what movie those lines were from, Jen? Because I couldn't pick up
Yeah,
on.
that was from 12 Monkeys.
Monkeys.
That was pretty hard, actually.
Yes. All
No,
right.
you did a good job.
All right. Is Jen good? Are we giving prizes away? Or what
Only
are we
if they
doing?
stump them.
Only if they stump
Yeah,
them. Okay.
okay.
All
That's the
right.
way we do it here in the States.
Yeah.
You
Sorry,
gotta really-
Jen.
You got to really do it.
Thanks for playing, though. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. All right. These guys are they're good on one. All right. Let's get our next caller on the line.
It's quite a fun game.
And we're going to go to Duke. Good morning, Duke.
Hi.
All right, Duke, could you please give us the line that you're going to be reading for Joel and Leah?
Okay.
Be nice if you had it ready to go.
Give him a minute.
He's doing
Look, it's a name, man. The Italian stallion. The media will eat it up. Now, who discovered America? It's an Italian, right? What would be better than to get it on with one of its descendants?
The actor prepares.
Duke, I want to thank you for rehearsing that all night last night.
I watched that
And
scene
delivering
live
it
last night.
so wonderfully. Okay, so what do you think? Let's go, Joel, Brit or not a Brit?
I think he's a Brit. I think Duke isn't even his name because that's a very American name.
Okay.
I think he's a. That's very good.
And Leah, what do you think?
I think not a Brit.
You think not a Brit? Duke, where are you from?
I'm from Manchester.
Joel got it right.
All right, so apparently Duke owns a barbershop called Blokes in Old City.
No kidding.
Very nice, Duke.
How long have you been in the States, Duke?
10 years.
10 years. Okay.
Wow.
Originally from Manchester. Were you a barber there as well, or is this a whole new
I
life?
was, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Nice.
I was a barber and a musician.
All right, and I'm reading the info that you sent us. What other countries do you get mistaken that you are from?
Oh, I get Irish, Australian, Kiwi, South African, all sorts.
All of them, yeah, I believe it. And that's a common refrain, by the way. People are like, "Are you South African?"
Oh my God!
on.
Yeah. To me, Australian and Kiwi, so different, and I don't know.
Oh,
how...
you use bloke. You use the word bloke. You must be from Australia.
All right, well, Duke, you did manage to stump Leah, so I think that's good for a
Yeah, we'll
prize.
hook you up with
All
something.
right, hang on a second, Duke. Thank you
Yeah.
very much, man. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Marissa, do I need to keep him on hold, or will we contact him?
We'll contact him.
We'll contact him. All right, I'm
It was
gonna let-
funny because my friend is Helen.
Duke
She's
go.
from Manchester,
Yeah.
and when he was saying a couple of things, I was like, "Oh my God, that's." And I was with her last night. I was like, "That's exactly how she sounds." So maybe I can pick out a Manchester accent.
All right, let's go with another caller. We have Peter on the line. Good morning, Peter.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. All right, so we have Joel and Leah here. We're playing Brit or Not a Brit. Could you give us the line, please?
I will do. Commodities or agricultural products like coffee that you had for breakfast, wheat, which is used to make bread, pork bellies, which is used to make bacon, which you might find in a bacon and lettuce and tomato sandwich.
Yeah, definitely a Brit.
Brit.
All right, you guys both say Brit?
Uh-huh.
Brit.
Yeah.
Where? Where's he
Right.
from?
Well, hang on.
Yeah.
Peter, well, yeah, if you were to narrow it down and you think it's legit, where would you say Peter's from?
I don't think he's from the south.
Can you say
Okay.
a couple more words, please? Just a few more.
Just say a few more words, Peter, if you would.
Well, what sort of words would you like me to say?
Yeah,
All
you
right.
did it.
Okay.
Philadelphia, London.
Should we go?
I think Midlands
Say
like Leah.
Midlands.
Where are you from, Peter?
Well, that's pretty clever because I was born in a city called Leicester, which is in the Midlands.
Wow.
You got the Midlands. You got the whole
done.
thing.
And how long
But
have
I
you
spent most of my life in London.
All right. And how long have you been in the States?
40 years.
40 years.
Damn.
Good for you, man.
You still sound like that?
Yeah, that is not faded whatsoever.
No.
All right. Well, thank you for playing, Peter. Unfortunately, you didn't stump these guys, but we appreciate you calling in and thank you for listening to the show.
It's like
Thank you. That
All
was
right.
fun.
Take care, Peter.
normally an accent would go away. That's why the hilarity of having Scotty on Star Trek had that complete brug.
Yeah, I had when I was a kid, I had a very thick Southern accent.
Right.
I lived in the South growing up, and my parents speak with a Southern accent, but I shook it along the line.
By the way, there was Ralph Bellamy as Randolph Duke in Trading Places.
Yes,
That
thank you
did
very
find the
much.
lines, yes.
Yeah. All right, let's get another caller. We have William on. Hi, William. Good morning.
Morning.
All right, William, we are playing Brit or Not a Brit, and Joel and Leah want to hear your accent, so give us the line, please.
What? Are you kidding? Sundays? I love Sundays. I live for Sundays. The whole family's together. Mum makes brioche. Dad puts the jersey on. We're all watching the game. Yes, it drives me crazy. And yes, I was negative. You didn't even know that I loved it, Nikki, but I did. I just didn't appreciate it or you before.
Okay.
The
Okay.
thing is, he could be a Brit. He could be a performer.
33 WMMR.
Thank you, Kathy. Well, it's about high time we play a game, give away some freebies, and we're going to play the game Bass Backwards this morning.
A perennial favorite.
I'll explain how it goes in just a second. 215-263 WMMR if you want to play. You essentially have to identify some backwards stuff that we've recorded. We're going to give away as prizes. We have an advanced screening of the M. Night Shyamalan film Knock at the Cabin. The screening is going to be Tuesday, January 31st, and it will be a 7 o'clock showing at the PFS East. It doesn't hit theaters till February 3rd, so you're getting in advance of it. Looks like a pretty wild movie.
It looks really good.
And we also have cases of Voodoo Ranger Fruit Force IPA. So we have some beer. We have a handful of those in there, too. So we'll mix it up, and you can let us know what you're interested in, by the way. So essentially, it's we've taken – now, we're the last time we played Bass Backwards, it felt pretty good because we took a little bit of a different spin on it. In the past, I would say a phrase – and we would record it and run it backwards. I would hear how it sounds backwards, and then I would try to emulate that sound. Then we would reverse that.
Yeah.
So then it's me speaking in backwards, but playing it forward so you could identify what I was saying. But we used to play you the gibberish, the backwards thing first, and see if you could figure out what it was. Next to impossible to figure that out. So we decided to switch to songs.
I think this is brilliant.
And actually, we have me singing. I sing it in reverse. We spin that around, and then what you hear is actual words. But because of the backwards nature, it sounds really weird and kind of hard to identify. So
Right.
a little bit of detective work on this.
I think so. And it all came from Bajmir, which
That's
has a correlation to music as well.
Yes, because it was Blink 182, right?
Right.
They had an album called Bajmir, and we had initially talked about that, and it turns out that that's rim job backwards. And so we recorded
job.
me saying Bajmir and then played it backwards. Rim job. And that's what you got. Rim job. And so and it was a revelation to us, so we started recording things, other things that were
bro. It's Friday.
like that, exactly. And so it took off from there. So we're now do it with songs.
Yeah.
And it's simple. Casey and I did 8 of these yesterday.
He's good, man.
8 is enough.
It's hard. It's like the hardest part is, so I'll record myself singing a song, a chorus from a song, and then we play it backwards, and then I have to write out phonetically what that is, and sometimes it is really hard.
Well, I assume you have to listen to it a couple of times as you're transcribing,
several
as you're
times.
getting each word.
And you have to try to get a melody in there too,
Right.
which is really, really hard. But we did some pretty good ones
We
yesterday.
did, and I would say a majority. I would say 95% of these were done in one take.
Nice.
which is really, really impressive. But I found just listening to him and watching him do this, I think for him it's easier the songs than it is the phrases.
And I think subsequently that'll be easier to play the game because you do have that added aspect.
And by the way, we did 8 of these. It took like an hour to do 8 of these. It's like it takes forever to get this stuff done. But we've got them ready to go, and we can try it out. So you want to play?
Yes.
All right, here we go. Let's get callers on the line. We're going to start with Brian Z, who's on. Hey, Brian, good morning.
You guys rock.
Wow. We love you. All right, Brian, I will put you on hold because we seem to get better audio that way. I will play this for you, and all you have to do is identify the song. All right, my man?
Yes, sir.
All right, hang on the line, and we'll roll the first bass backwards song. Here we go. We need the title, by the way, the title of the song. Here we go. But I don't know where I'm going, but I sure know where I'm been. I sound like I'm about ready to crap my pants. I'm trying desperately not to.
Yeah. Like you're standing outside a locked bathroom.
Yeah.
No.
We're not going to let you in until you sing this song.
But I don't know where I'm going, but I sure know where I'm been.
Oh, don't come out here.
All right, let's see if Brian knows that song. All right, Brian.
Here I go again on my own.
He nailed it. Yep, exactly. Hang on. Here's what we're going to give you, my man.
We are going to hook you up with a pair of passes to see Universal Pictures' highly anticipated new film from Philadelphia native M. Night Shyamalan. It's called Knock at the Cabin, and it's going to be Tuesday, January 31st at 7 p.m. at the PFS East, and this film hits theaters everywhere on February 3rd.
This movie looks you just watch the trailer, and it's the kind of movie where you are going to be forced to say, "What would I do?"
Yeah,
and it looks really cool.
By the way, somebody texted in and said we should have a theme song, a backwards one for this game. So we'll work on that.
I
at
like
some point.
that.
All right. So do you want to hear what it sounded like? Me doing this,
Let's hear it.
and then what we reverse it. This is me after listening to it phonetically, and if you played it forward, this is what it would sound like. Nobody want no shut up. What up? What up?
Why I
oughta, buddy. All right, we're gonna try another one. All
right,
let's get Craig on the line. Yo, Craig. Gadzooks, buddy. All right, bass backwards. You know how this works?
Yes, sir.
Do your best. I'm gonna put you on hold. We have a brand new song for Craig. Here we go. I saw her say that mirror's ocean. Glass of wine. Hi.
All right, one more time. You got to do it twice
All right,
for this
yep,
guy.
I agree. All right, hold on, Craig. We'll do this one more time. Here we go. I saw her say that mirror's ocean. Glass of wine and a Hein.
Hi.
I did that on purpose, by the way. All right. Craig, any idea what song that is?
No.
All right.
Oh, That's a very iconic opening line.
And we'll try 3 callers here. I'll go to Jason next. Hey, Jason. Yes.
Give him a minute.
Jason, do you need to hear that again, or do you know what song that was?
Yes, please, one more time.
All right, hold on. Here we go. One more time. I saw her say that mirror's ocean. Glass of wine and a hind. All right, Jason, any idea?
Because she's an orphan when you meet her family. I don't know the name of it.
No, you're off.
You're heading in the wrong direction.
Wrong song anyway.
Sorry, bro.
Thanks, buddy. All right, we'll try another one. We'll go to Jeff. Hey, Jeff.
Hey.
All right, do you need to hear
Hello?
that? Yeah, Jeff, you're on the air, buddy.
God.
All right, do you need to hear it again?
Nah, you can't always get what you want.
By the Rolling Stones. Exactly, sir. Hang on, Jeff, and here's what we have for you.
Hey, Jeff, we got a pair of passes to see Universal Pictures' highly anticipated new film from M. Night Shyamalan's Knock at the Cabin. You're going to see it on the 31st, but the film hits theaters everywhere on February 3rd.
All right, I'll play it one more time, and then we'll play it the other way. So this was it again.
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh, no, it's okay. We'll go ahead. This is hand. That first one, that yeah is hand.
Yeah, honey, now with Sally. Nush, red sarip that he had spasser. Hossa.
And then it comes out the other way.
You know who'd be an ace at this game? Nell.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
You know, we should play her stuff backwards and see if
It's absolutely eloquent.
if it sounds like any words.
When Parliament first adjourned.
Yeah.
I saw her say that mirror's ocean.
So that was how that turned out. All right, let's try another one. I will go to Steve. Hey, Steve.
Hey, I'm sorry you guys are bothering me at work.
We are so sorry. All right, Steve, we have a new one. Bass Backwards is a game. Ready to play?
Yes, I am.
All right, hold on a second. And here is a fresh one for you, Steve.
One is a way. Who wins in my hair?
Hair. We'll play it a second time so you can hear it again. We try to go with these iconic songs. Here we go.
One is a way. Who wins in my hair?
Okay. Maybe Steve knows. Do you know Steve?
Welcome to the Hotel California.
I love how everybody's singing this morning. Yeah, that is correct. Hang on, Steve.
You know what we should do? We should clip that audio into concert footage of them performing. Yeah,
that'd be hilarious. What do we have for Steve?
You got a case of Voodoo Ranger Fruit Force IPA. Fruit Force is a high-flying fruit punch IPA soaring at a 9.5% ABV with high drinkability and refreshing punch flavor.
All right, and this is what it sounded like the other way when I did it live. Here we go.
Reham nizne wook. Hey, why does it does dinno?
Desidars Dino.
Why Desidars Dino?
I don't know.
I would love to hear your yoo-hoo backwards, Steve. I can do this right now if you want.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Let's hear it.
Can you fire one up?
Yeah. Alrighty.
All right,
So we'll
and
do
then-
that. I just have to hit this, and then I can. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Go ahead. Let's hear it.
Can you?
All right, here we go.
It sounds
Sounds
like
like
you're
a
calling a
pig
pig.
call.
Yeah.
Pig call.
You're calling a pig.
Yeah. Oh
It sound
my
no,
God.
there was like poltergeist in there.
Oh, did you hear it?
God, that's overmodulated. All right.
Oh my God. Okay.
We'll go to a new one, and it is Kyle who we have next. Hey, Kyle, morning.
Well, it's Bob.
What was that?
Okay. But I'm not really that smart, so could you have Casey put in a soundbite that sounds funny?
No.
You know, like yoo-hoo or whatever else.
We'll see what we can do for you. Hang
can do
on,
this.
Kyle. Listen up, because here is a fresh song for you, my friend. Smoke on the water, that fire in the sky. We'll do it a second time. Here we go. Smoke on the water, that fire in the sky. All right. Some of them I give you the flat out hook, too.
Yep.
All right. Kyle, do you know the answer?
I'm not Kyle. I'm Bob.
Oh, hi, Bob.
Oh, okay. Hi, Bob.
But hey, Smoke on the Water.
Yes! Easy one. Easy one. What are we going to give Kyle Bob?
All right, Kyle Bob, you won a pair of passes to see Universal Pictures' highly anticipated new film from M. Night Shyamalan. It's called Knock at the Cabin. He's going to see it on January 31st. Everyone else can see it on February 3rd.
All right. We will get another caller on the
Oh,
line.
you want to hear the...
Oh, yeah. So this is what it sounded like in the initial recording. Hey, yaks, meet your yapnet. First, knock moons. Let me hear the beginning of that again. Hang on. Hey, yaks, meet your yapnet. Hey, yaks, meet yapnet. All right. And that turns into Smoke on the Water. Or the end of that is Fire in the Sky. All right. Next is Mike. Yo, Mike, good morning.
Good morning, Lord P-Bud.
Hi,
Mike.
Wow. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate the love. All right. You ready to give it a shot?
Yeah, let's go, bud.
All right. Here we go. New song. Let's see how Mike does. Here we go. Oh, way there. Oh, that's it?
That's it?
Okay. Play it one more time. Here we go. Oh, way there. Yeah. All right, let's go back to Mike. Mike?
Let me try to get this head note. Whoa, living on a prayer.
He got it, yeah. That was the whoa, we're halfway there. Play that again, Case, as is. Hang on, this was... Whoa, way there. It's hard to get the melody.
Okay, I got you.
What are we going to set up Moik with?
Moik, you got a pair of passes to see Knock at the Cabin. It's going to be on the 31st of this month. Everyone else can see it on February 3rd.
All right, and this is how it was when I recorded it live. Ray that fair whoa. So whoa is the same thing backwards and forward.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So, all right, we'll have Brian. How many more of these do we have? Like
looks
two?
like we got 1, 2, 3 more.
All right, we have one,
we can
two,
do this.
3. All right.
Wait, 1, 2, 3.
Brian is on the line, and we have
1, 2, 3.
more to go. Brian, are you there?
Yes, I am here.
All right, nice to have you on. Have you done fairly well at a few of these?
Yeah, some of them sound like Hebrew to me.
I know.
Yeah, it'd be great. Probably
doing
is.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, hang on. We have a new one for you. Let's try this one. Some of them, there are a couple that are hard. This one might be kind of difficult.
All right, let's hear it.
Here we go. Mean gun stealing. Once when it was live. You guys have any idea?
No.
Yeah, this is a hard one. All right. Mean gun stealing. Once when it was live.
This is the only one I haven't gotten yet.
I had to throw one or two that were difficult in there. All right, Brian.
Yeah.
Any idea?
I think it might be the Pointer Sisters.
It is not the Pointer Sisters, but that is a valiant try. Thank you. We'll do 2 more with this one. I'll go to Rob. Hey, Rob.
Chicken black, pie.
Beautiful.
I should do that one sometime.
Yes,
Do that
absolutely.
backwards. All right, Rob, hang on. We're going to play this again for you, okay?
Okay.
Here we go. Mean gun stealing. Once when it was live. Okay.
Now I got it.
You got it?
Yeah, it took 3 times.
Okay. Rob, any idea?
No clue.
All right. Thanks anyway. All right. See you later. All right. We'll go to Steve. Hey, Steve.
Hey, good morning.
Do you need to hear that again?
I do.
You got it, man. All right. Listen closely because this is for the prize. Here we go. Mean gun stealing. Once when it was live. Texters are getting it. So let's see if Steve can get it. All right, Steve, any idea?
I can't. I'm trying to sing it in my head, but I can't get it.
All right, thanks anyway,
It
man.
happens. It's one of the harder ones.
That one, I'll reveal it.
Wait, are we supposed to get a texter or do we want
No, I'll just reveal it. Or I can take another call.
Yeah, take another call. I think this, it's
right.
the title of the
We'll
song.
go to John. Hey, John.
Hey, what's going on?
Yo, bud, we're going to try that one out on you again. Do you need to hear it again?
Yeah, play one more time.
Right
there.
All right, this is going to do it, I think, right here. Mean gun stealing. Once when it was live. All right. Who was that? Who did I
That
just
was
put on?
John.
It was John? Okay. All right. John, any...
Floyd, comfortably numb.
No, not comfortably. Do one more. One more, and then we'll move on. And this is Brad. Hey, Brad.
Hurt the dirt.
All right, Brad, did you hear it, or you need to hear it again?
I think I want to hear it again.
All right, hang on. We will put you on hold and fire this up one last time.
Mean gun stealing. Once when I was live.
All right, Brad, name that song.
I got no idea.
All right. Thanks anyway. That song right there is Been Caught Stealing from Jane's Addiction.
All right.
It's the opening line. So now listen with it. Now listen to it with that knowledge.
Mean gun stealing. Once when I was live.
Been caught stealing once when I was 5.
Yeah.
All right, so play it the other way, Case. This is what it sounded like when I recorded it.
5 Zueno snow. And there leads knock neep.
Not neat.
Not neep.
That's TT's cousin.
All right, we have 2 more left, and our next one is Brian. Hey, Brian.
Hello.
Hello, Brian.
Hey.
All right, you ready to try this? We got a new one.
All right.
All right, here we go. This is for Brian. This is a difficult one.
Oh, no. All right.
Here we go.
I know it. Yeah.
All right, good.
Yeah. That's easy.
It's easy?
Yeah,
All
I
right,
think
good.
it's easy.
Good, because we thought this would be hard. Here we go, Brian. All right. It was hard to do the voice. Brian, do you know what song that is?
Is it The Offspring?
That's a band.
No, I don't know.
The Offspring.
Thanks.
The Offspring song.
We'll go to Tony next. Hey, Tony.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Tony, you need to hear that again?
Yeah.
All right,
One more time.
hang on a second. Here we go. One more time. By the way, 215-263-WMMR if we want to get other people who want to play the game. Hi. All right, Tony?
Yes.
Any idea what song that is?
Yeah, it's Def Leppard. Oh my God. Okay.
I'll give you a second.
Photograph?
No. Not photograph. Sorry, buddy. No.
Darn it.
Yeah, I got to make sure it's the right song. Yeah. All right. Bill, you there?
Yeah, this is Bill.
All right, Bill. You need to hear that again?
Yeah, is it the Gleeton Globin song?
I thought you said you needed to hear it again.
You can play it again.
All right, let me play it again and think about it. And by the way, Bill, I need a song title.
A legit song title.
Is it Hysteria? Def Leppard?
It's not Hysteria. No. Sorry.
The Gleeton Globin song?
It's not that. We'll go to Chuck next. Hey, Chuck.
Hey, what's going on?
All right, we're playing bass backwards, man. Do you want to hear that again, or do you know what it is?
I believe I know what it is. Is it Pretty Fly by The Offspring?
So here's the deal.
Okay.
It could have been one or two things.
Yeah.
And he got most of the title right. So I'm going to give it to you. Pretty fly for a white guy. So, Chuck, you're a winner. Hang on.
Our judges will accept it.
We'll get your information. It could either be Pretty Fly for a white guy, or it could be Rock of Ages from Def Leppard. But that's those are the two that we would accept. And so Chuck wins. Yep. Case, what are we going to give to him real quick? And then I'll play
who was that? I'm
version.
sorry. That was Chuck?
That was Chuck.
All right, Chuck, we have a case of Voodoo Ranger Fruit Force IPA. Fruit Force is a high-flying fruit punch IPA, and it's soaring in at 9.5% ABV with high drinkability and a refreshing punch flavor.
I didn't think we were going to be able to do this. When I heard what it sounded like backwards,
yeah.
I was like, I don't think that I can interpret this. But we kind of pulled it off. Here's what it sounded like when I recorded it. Nurberlin Glouten to be the girl's nut. Nurberlin Glouten to be the girl's nut. All right.
Oh, my God.
And I think I might want to try chicken pot pie live.
Okay.
Like doing that?
Oh, he's good.
All right. We'll go next to...
Last one.
This is the last one.
Last one.
Who's been on hold the longest? It looks like Andre. So I will go to Andre. All right, Andre?
Yep, I'm here.
All right, we have one last one. You ready to go?
Yep, I'm ready.
All right, hang on a second. Here is the final bass backward song. Here we go.
Stevenson, Hoggies like, he went in bed. Hey, hey.
All right.
Oh, that's your best one.
I thought, and that was the first one we did,
was. Yeah.
actually. All right. Oh, wait. Did you hear that again, Andre? We only played it once.
Yes, one more time.
All right, one more time. Here we go. Stevenson, Hoggies Lake, he went in vain. Hey, hey. All right. Andre, what song?
Oh, man. I do not know that song. Oh, there you go.
Time's up.
Liar, whore, and you know it.
Sorry, Andre.
He's not a liar. Just didn't know.
We go next to Brian. Hey, Brian.
Bay Hitches.
Hey, Bay Hitches. All right, you want to hear that again, Brian?
No, I know. Yeah, play it again. I know it.
All right, here we go. Stevenson, Hoggies Lake, he went in vain. Hey, hey. All right, what song is that?
Oh, some sugar on me.
You got it. You got it. Yes, absolutely. Hang on for a second, Brian. Here's the prize we have for you.
You have our final case of Voodoo Ranger Fruit Force IPA. Fruit Force is a high-flying fruit punch IPA soaring in at a 9.5 ABV with high drinkability and a refreshing punch flavor.
All right, so this is what it sounded like when we recorded it. Yeah, hey. Yeah, me. Yeah, see go. Nah, snivets.
Snivets.
At the beginning, I sound like James Hetfield. Yeah, hey. Yeah, hey. Yeah, me. Yeah, see go. Nah, snivets. That's not snivets.
Do you guys want to see how we do this? Do you guys want to take a journey through it with the chicken pot pie?
Yeah, you're doing chicken pot pie. He wants to do it. Yeah.
Now let me sing it first, because I can't get up that. I can't go chicken pot, chicken pot. Chicken pot, chicken pot, chicken pot pie. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
All right, ready? Here we go. It's not recording.
Yeah, it is.
Chicken pot, chicken pot, chicken pot pie. So Kate, we just recorded that.
Right.
And then Casey will play it. He'll reverse it and play it, and then I'll start taking notes. I'll grab my my pen here.
Trusted pad.
And then I'll phonetically write out what it is and then record it that way. So this is how we do this whole thing. So go ahead, Casey.
You ready?
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, hold on. Yeah, go to the next part.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
It's like a Jewish chant. Baruch atah.
One, there's three of those.
Yeah. I mean, this is we play it over and
Mikish. I think that's it. Yeah, I got it. All right. Hang on. Yeah, Mikish. And that should be chicken pot pie.
All
So
right.
now he reverses that.
Oopsie. Oh, I hope I didn't just ruin it. All right. I'm going to reverse this real quick.
Okay. I'll get you some.
All right. Here's the reveal. Are you guys ready?
Let's get going.
All right, here it is.
Chicken pot pie.
That's crazy.
And that is how we. And so we sit here for an hour doing that over and over to get 8 songs out, and it's a bit of a time suck. But
Not even it's just one line.
Chicken pot pie.
You don't get fresh. I would get so frustrated.
there's a couple I've bailed on. Like we'll tap out.
Yeah.
Like well, we were trying. One time I was trying to do. Red Hot Chili Peppers. What I got to get it to your mom.
Oh, yeah, it's a mouthful.
And so if there's too many syllables, especially the CKs and stuff like that, icks and things, forget it. It's way too hard to emulate. There are some people who can just do it.
Yes.
Who can do it phonetically.
Speak it backwards.
Without even having to listen to it like I do. I'm just mimicking what I hear.
There are savants that can speak in reverse.
Yeah, and even sing melodically, which is really weird. So Casey's pretty good at it too.
Not really, but you're just being nice.
Yeah, da mickish da mickish da mickish da mickish.
Let me hear what this one sounds like.
Mickish da mickish.
Yeah, no meow. What is that?
That's you saying Annabelle.
Oh, hang on. Do that again. Yeah, no, meow. Yeah, no, meow. It sounds like somebody mocking someone. Oh, your name is yeah, meow. Yeah, no, meow.
That's
All
great.
right,
I
there
want
you
to
go.
see if we have the. Are you trying to do the Red Hot Chili Peppers? It doesn't look like we have.
No,
It's
we
very
probably-
kinetic, too.
We probably just canned that all together. So
Yeah.
You're only human.
I love that game. I love playing this game. I just wish it didn't take so much time to slap together. But we'll plan for special themed ones down the road and do that when we can.
The
But-
music stuff works.
Yeah. All right. So with that, I think we should take a quick break and come back in a moment. Don't forget our secret text word today. Sarah Silverman is going to be in AC at the Ocean Casino Resort on February 4th. If you're interested in going, text the word secret to 39.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Initial instinct was pretend,
I
not
think,
a Brit.
yes, I don't think he's a Brit, but that was a very good
The-
attempt.
when he said brioche, I died.
Yeah.
William, where are you from?
Yeah, that's not even fair. That was spot on.
Oh, he's from Delco.
He's from All right, William, they found you out, but thanks, man. We appreciate it, buddy. All right, we'll see
It's
you.
pretty.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny because all you have to do in many cases is convince people here. And so, you know, the hard part, that's why when you do pass muster, when a Kate Winslet pulls off something as mechanically difficult as a sub-accent, sub-dialect here, it's an amazing thing.
So the way he said yo, he said yo. That's how you say it in Delaware County, in Delco. Yo.
But you can so far, you can hear them trying.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Hard.
Like the Brits are just natural. In
That's
speaking.
why like when Meryl Streep pulled off the Polish accent in Sophie's Choice, you'll have dialogue and dialect coaches on set.
Right,
to
right.
keep- yeah. That's how hard it is.
And by the way, you should visit some of the places that are named for English cities. Like you should definitely go to Chester and Camden and Kensington. No?
No,
you won't make
Those
it
are like
home.
the high crime
really?
areas.
Yeah.
That was
trying to get us
a
killed.
that was a movie set in Delco. That was Silver Linings Playbook and Bradley Cooper's character.
Ah, thank
Well
you,
done.
Ned, for the clarification. All right, we have another caller on the line. It is Susan. Good morning, Susan.
Good morning.
Okay, Susan, we have Joel and Leah here determining Brit or not a Brit. Could you please read what we sent to you?
When you were making me, didn't you feel a certain inspiration? Almost like your hands were moved by force not of this world. You made this body so that I could come to life.
Okay.
The
let's.
accent was good, but the intonation was all off, wasn't it? What do you think,
Yeah,
Joel?
I don't know. I thought that was that's really hard to tell because I think it could just be that she's reading a quote that made it sound slightly off.
Do you
but
want her to
still
say
really
brioche?
good.
Just say brioche. No.
All right, Joel, we're going to ask you.
No,
Make a
you know what?
decision.
I'm going to take a risk. Say she's a Brit.
She's a Brit.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay,
and what do you
let's say
think? Leah?
Brit then.
She says Brit. All right, Susan, where are you from?
I'm from Philly, baby.
I think they really knew.
I think I know. It's just like,
You really knew. But that means Susan is a winner. So, Susan, we're going to get in touch with you and set you up with a prize, okay?
Sounds great. Thank you. This was so fun.
All right,
very
thanks
cool.
for playing along.
Very cool.
All right.
You guys
we
know
have-
what movie that was?
Is that Mannequin?
It is Mannequin. Kim Cattrall and Mannequin. You guys ever see Mannequin? There's Kim Cattrall, the actress from Sex and the City. She's a mannequin in a store in Philadelphia. She comes to life, and
It's a true story.
Yeah, it's a true story. Yes, right. It's a documentary, really.
That's why Kim Cattrall looks so plastic now.
oh gosh, you guys.
All right, let's get our next caller. We have Chris. By the way, we have like a dozen of these to do.
Oh my gosh, that's so fun.
Hi, Chris. Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
All right, Chris, we are going to get.
See, they already got a taste.
We're gonna need to have you deliver the line. Could you go for it, please?
Now that we know who you are, I know who I am. I'm not a mistake. It all makes sense. In a comic, you know who you can tell who the arch villain's going to be? He's the exact opposite of the hero. Most of the times, they're friends, like you and me. I should have known way back when. You know why, David? Because of the kids. They called me Mr. Glass.
Mr. Glass. All right. What do you think? Leah, let's go with you.
I was going to say Brit from maybe like the south, maybe somewhere near Essex.
Okay.
Yeah,
what
I
do you
think like could be London or even.
Londoner.
I think definitely Brit.
Yeah,
Definitely
But
Brit.
then he said glass at the end instead of glass.
Did he?
I was like, wait, what? You've thrown me off the scent.
Sounds then a
I heard
northern
gloss.
Gloss. I heard,
Gloss.
GLOSS.
Yeah.
Oh, gloss. It was
Yeah.
the word gloss on the script.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah.
No,
I'd say-
It was the word
it's
glass,
glass.
but
Oh, right.
to our ears, we heard him say gloss.
Yeah.
Might be,
I
yeah.
think I heard glass. I think he's definitely a Brit.
I think me too. Yeah.
All right, both of them say a Brit. And Chris, where are you from?
I am a Brit from Hatfield, Hertfordshire.
Yeah, North
Did you get it
London.
right?
Yeah. Well, no, I was wrong, but yeah, London, kind of Londonish.
And where do you call home now, Chris?
Chester County, down in town.
All right, how long have you been in the States?
18 years.
18 years.
Wow,
And the
nice,
fact
man.
that they still retain a substantial part of that, it's pretty amazing.
Except for when saying glass.
Yeah.
So that's because he's lived here then.
Yeah.
So that bit's come out.
Yeah.
So we had and we had this guy as a guest on the show a couple times. Louis Knight. He
Yes.
was a contestant on American Idol.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know, but he is like the only English person that I have ever heard sing with an English accent.
Oh, it's adorable.
Yeah.
All right,
Can you do
Chris.
an impression of it?
Chris,
Oh,
thanks
it's a
for,
lovely bunch of coconuts.
Chris, thanks for playing, man. We appreciate it.
Hey, thanks.
All right, take care. All right, so you guys are doing pretty good. You're
Yeah.
doing pretty
I think
good.
they're
You've
doing
only
damn
missed a
good,
couple
yeah.
of them. All right. Let's get another caller on the line. Oh, what movie was that?
Oh,
from?
Unbreakable.
That
Samuel
was
L.
Unbreakable.
Jackson.
Yes,
Glass.
thank you. I
Glass.
knew it
Mr.
was-
Glass.
I don't know why I couldn't remember the name of the movie, but it's an M. Night Shyamalan classic. All right. We have Steven. Hi, Steven.
Morning.
Morning. All right, Steven, we have a... They're like immediately making their decisions when people say good morning. All right, Steven, do us a favor and read the line we sent you.
Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place. It'll beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody's going to hit as hard as life, but it ain't how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, then go out and get what you're worth. But you got to be willing to take the hit and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you are because of him, her, or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
Right. Did it
Yeah,
start
better
off?
than that.
It started off like Scouse, then it went Scottish. It was like Liverpool, Scottish.
Do you know what? His Scottish accent is better than mine.
Yeah.
So if you're to say Brit or not a Brit, what do you think, Joel?
I'll go not a Brit.
Not a Brit.
No,
All right.
sorry.
Stephen, where are you from?
I'm from South Jersey.
But I love that. That's a great quote from Rocky Balboa.
Yeah, he was hitting some of them pretty
doing
solid.
well.
Like the word hit, he said het.
Yeah,
Instead
yeah.
with more of an A.
I like
E
that
sound.
he did like a Scottish version rather than going for like our accent.
That was brilliant.
What were you saying, Stephen?
I was going for a North England Geordie accent.
Oh, so he knows his
okay.
stuff. That's actually where Stallone is from.
All right, thanks for playing, Stephen. Have a good one, man. All right.
Have a good one.
If you're just tuning in, we have Joel and Leah who are here in the States. They do a YouTube series, and they cover American culture, British culture, kind of compare the two, try some things out over here, sample a little bit.
It's wonderful watching, and they're very much likable. So and people love to see the differences.
Yes. And by the way, I saw BuzzFeed has all these great lists that pop up all the time, and there was one that was showing American sections of grocery stores around the world. And so usually there's a small rack of stuff for maybe who's a tourist or somebody who lives that then go get some of their creature comforts as far as food goes. And you know what I noticed on every single one of those photos? What do you think? What item, if you were to guess?
That is considered expressly American.
Yeah, it was very easy to spot by the packaging. Very bright packaging. It's a candy. I'll give you that.
Circus peanuts?
No.
Candy.
Circus peanuts.
M&M's.
No.
No?
It's a candy.
Yeah.
Skittles.
No. Reese's peanut butter cups.
Ah.
On every single photo that I saw all around the world. I'm like, okay, yeah,
So
sure.
not circus peanuts.
I'd want them.
Yeah, it's funny because my friend Helen hates American candy, and I can't stand British candy. I just and she
I
offered-
like British candy.
Yeah, I can't do it, and they offered because we were all at the same restaurant last Saturday, and she had a big box of British chocolate. I was like, no thanks, that's I'm okay with that. Which is crazy because I love chocolate, but she says that American chocolate tastes like vomit.
Yeah, it really does.
It's been like a test. They've tested it. The compound in American chocolate, I think it's the milk powder that they use,
right,
does to British taste like vomit.
Oh, that's why Hershey smells like vomit. It's vile.
We just can't eat
my
it.
God.
But
So
it's also why Americans wouldn't like British chocolate.
I do like British chocolate, though. I like
do
dark
too.
chocolate, though.
Okay.
Oh, you're fancy.
There we go.
All right, we have 4 more to go with Brit or not a Brit. So let's get our next caller on the line. It's Carl. Hey there, Carl.
Morning, it.
All right, morning it to you, sir. All right, Carl, we sent you a movie line. Could you please give it for Joel and Leah?
Sure. Oh. See, I made Louis a bet here. See, Louis bet me that we couldn't both get rich and put y'all in the poorhouse at the same time. He didn't think we could do it. I won. Trading Places.
All right, that's from Trading Places, the movie. Okay.
He doesn't actually say in the movie.
Brit or not a Brit? Let's start with you, Leah.
Okay, Brit, maybe from Manchester.
All right.
Union.
Yeah.
How about you,
he's
Joel?
being sneaky. He's definitely a Brit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Northern.
Carl, where are you from?
I'm from Harrogate, North Yorkshire.
Okay. All right, they got it. They got it right.
Well, you guys are good.
Did you nail the region? Is that anywhere near?
Well,
No?
yeah,
Well, it is
Yorkshire
north,
is north, but we thought
North is
Mancunian.
very generic.
Yeah.
So,
What
I
is
don't
the
think we deserve the point.
TH is an F?
Yeah, that's just
both.
like both. That doesn't belong to any region. That's just like relaxed speech. I
Yeah,
guess.
just a little shortcut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Adele actually does that. I think she'll use
Yeah.
an F instead of the TH.
A lot. She does a lot.
Yeah. And why is Liverpudlian so sing-songy? Like when Steve does his
Yeah.
Paul McCartney, it's like it's really up and down. And
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
I don't know
It's
why.
just-
I really like it. It's got a
Yeah.
but the only thing about Liverpudlian accent I don't like is the K's. So when they say Coke, they'd say Coke.
Chicken and a can
It's
of
like a
Coke. Yeah.
It's not very nice.
That's almost Hasidic here. Like
Thank you, Carl. Appreciate it, man.
This is a rabbi.
Yeah. How about, speaking of pronunciations, a popular one in slang is bruv.
Oh, bro.
With a V on the end.
Ted
Which is short
Lasso?
for brother, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
suppose so.
Or you
Brother,
can say it
bruv.
to anyone.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, bruv.
It's
Or-
like a bro here, like we say,
Yeah.
"What's up, bro?" You know. So,
Yeah.
but we don't do the V. But that's one I've found that's very, very common.
This is my brother.
Yeah. Has anybody made you aware of John yet?
No.
Yes.
Oh,
John.
John.
Urban Outfitters. That man would taught us John.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were asking about John, a person. I'm like, where is this John person?
JAWN.
We learnt that.
John.
We learnt that. Yeah.
Doesn't it just mean anything? Like
Yes.
this water
To
bottle,
now.
like,
Yeah.
oh, this John of water.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
You could literally say this John of John.
This John of John.
Yeah, because the
Wow.
John is the bottle and the John is the water as well. So.
Were you just at an
Wow.
Urban Outfitters store? Were you shopping?
Yeah, we were just having a look around, and then randomly one of the employees, lovely man, would start just teaching us Philly slang. Lovely.
I don't think they'd ever seen Londoners before.
Yeah.
Because then we heard him going around going, they're from London.
Oh my god, it was
They look human.
You know what? I'm going to tell you about this city that you may find surprising because Philadelphia has a reputation for being a bit cold and well, not cold, but rude
Rough, yes.
and tough. But
No.
when I have brought people in from out of town and I'll show them around the city, I kid you not, they can tell. You know, like I remember pointing up at City Hall and mentioning Billy Penn's hat and so on. A person came along wearing I think they were wearing a Rocky shirt. And just started jumping in on the conversation
Right.
and offering up, and they were like, "Oh, you know, there's a little version of the statue on the Comcast building."
Yeah.
I'm like, "I know," and so they just started sharing information. I think you'll be surprised to find out how friendly people actually
They are. They really
here
are.
and want to show you. People are very proud of this city, extremely proud of this city, and will want to offer up, hey, here's some slang for you guys, you know, to kind of help you out around town.
Yeah, I don't think it gets enough limelight, does it?
Yeah.
No.
Well, we've got some stuff like the Love Statue, for example.
Did you know Urban Outfitters headquarters are in Philadelphia? If you go down South Broad Street in the Navy Yard, that's where their headquarters are. It's a pretty cool place.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That's
All right,
so cool.
3 more for Brit or not a Brit.
Okay.
I have John. Good morning, John.
Is this a John or
This is a John. Not a John. All right, John, are you ready to try this?
Ready to go, Rob.
All right, let's hear it. Here we go.
I was a flat. There will always be a part of me that's dirty and sloppy, but I like that. Just like all the other parts of myself. I can forgive. Can you say the same for yourself? Can you forgive? Are you capable of that?
Oh wow.
Oh, that's pretty solid.
Yeah, that's good.
They're a little confused. Let's see if we can get An actual answer. Leah, what do you think?
I think he's a Brit.
Okay, what do you think, Joel?
Yeah, I think a Brit from London. I think
Yeah.
London.
That accent was definitely like Cockney style, East London, wasn't it?
Okay. John, where are you from?
Well, I'm not a slut, but I'm 100% American.
Somebody get
Well
him a
done,
beach.
John.
We have a winner. Nice. It
good.
says here you're from South Jersey.
I'm from South Jersey, Sewell, New Jersey.
Nice. Where did you pick up this ability to mimic the accent?
Watch a lot of YouTube, Preston.
Watch them. Yes.
Yeah, make sure you watch Joel and Leah. You'll love it, man.
Perfect your accent.
Absolutely.
All right, John, we'll be in touch. We'll get you something for your trouble, my friend. All right, we'll go for two more.
Also, Silver Linings Playbook. That line, yes, it was Tiffany, yeah.
Thank you. All right, Catherine, are you there?
I am. Morning.
All right, we have two Brits here that are going to try and determine whether or not you're faking it. Let's hear you deliver the Philadelphia-centric movie line we sent you for them. Go ahead.
Hey, woman. Hey, woman. Listen here. Since your old man ain't got no heart, maybe you'd like to see a real man. I bet you stay up late every night dreaming you had a real man, don't you? I'll tell you what. Bring your pretty little self over to my apartment tonight, and I'll show you a real man.
Okay.
Do you know that line, Preston?
I don't. What is that?
Rocky 3.
Yeah, it's Clubber Lang.
Oh, man.
Remember when they're standing in front of the Rocky statue? Your woman, bring your woman over here. I don't know who the real man is.
I haven't seen Rocky 3 in so long. Okay, let's go to Joel and see if he can determine Brit or not a Brit.
I thought she was very good, but I think not a Brit. I think California.
California
Brit.
Valley
How about you,
girl.
Leah?
I thought it was a very, lovely.
Thanks, Cap. A couple of quick shout outs if you guys don't mind.
Yeah, no problem.
I got this one from Lisa McDermott. It says, good morning, Preston. And if you could please do this between January 15th and 25th. What's today? The 18th. All right,
Yeah,
good. I'm writing you to request very special shout out. 10 years ago, Stephen and Bill followed their dreams and opened Tenacity Fitness in Hainesport, New Jersey. It's more than a place where we lift heavy stuff. It's home. Happy 10th anniversary, Tenacity. And thank you for changing my life. Love, Lisa. She says one of the OGs, and she attached a picture that shows how much she loves Tenacity. She actually got a tattoo with Tenacity on it on her wrist. And she says, it shows how much I love them. I have a permanent inspiration when I'm running one of my races or just need a push.
That's great.
Thank you, Preston, Steve, Casey, Kathy, Nick, Marissa, for making me smile every day because I podcast on the weekends, too. So thank you, Lisa. There's a shout out for you. And then another one, I got this. This is from Ryan Beebe, and he had dropped off some hot sauce. Gave it to Nick, actually. Sent it to Nick. And he said, I hope you enjoyed the holidays. And he's the guy that came up to you at the end of the Christmas Miracle to say thank you for your assistance in getting the word out, Nick, about a few of the hot sauce-related fundraisers we've had to help funding research for a cure for tuberous sclerosis complex.
Yes.
And with your help of spreading the word, our fundraisers, we've been able to raise over $175,000.
That's excellent.
And that all has been directly donated to the TSC Alliance in honor of our 3-year-old son, who is turning 4 on January, Parker Beebe, who was diagnosed with TSC at birth. So that's cool. Thank you, man. We appreciate it. And it's Gettin' Saucy is the name of the hot. I didn't open it up, actually.
We had it last night.
Yeah?
Well,
Yeah.
not me. I don't really put hot sauce on anything. Jace had it, and he goes, "Oh, this is good."
Is he a hot sauce guy?
Yeah, he likes hot sauce.
How about that?
Yeah, brought it
How
home.
did that happen?
He opened it up immediately, and he had it with dinner.
Yeah, it's called Getting Saucy with Parker B. So thank you for dropping that off, man. We appreciate that, Ryan. So that shout out is for you, my friend. All right, let's see. Also a reminder, we have a new Daily Rush video. I said this earlier, but I'll mention it again. It's called The Sea Stick.
Do you remember this bit?
I do.
Yeah.
Yep, there was the guy that fell overboard and was out in the water for over 24 hours, and he said he gnawed on a stick for nourishment.
That floated by.
Lost at sea and struggling to survive? Well, yoo-hoo. Munch on a sea stick. And you can go to WMMR.com/dailyrush. And you can see the video and any other that you have missed. And it's sponsored by Xfinity's Gig Speed Internet. Learn more at Xfinity.com. I got an email from someone. This is not a shout out, but it is a request for us to find out who this person is. I got this email from Adam Zielinski from South Jersey, and he sent me pictures as well. And it's a photo. Apparently, there's a guy that's been spotted in a few different places. and he's walking around the city holding a big sign on a stick that says F the Giants.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
I did, yeah. He was outside the NovaCare complex, I think, earlier in the week as well, down in South Philly.
Yeah, he's got a hashtag.
Yeah, I didn't understand the hashtag.
Me neither,
It's
because
TH hashtag instead of the word the.
Yeah.
Right.
And at first glance, you think that he might be using, symbols to instead of curse words, but no, the word FUC is drawn out really big on the sign.
That's not an issue.
TH hashtag
Yeah.
the Giants. All right. So anyhow, but Nick or Adam, who emailed in, said clearly this person is deserving of some good old fashioned detective work. I entrusted this mystery to the Preston and Steve crew to solve. Who is the masked offender? By the way, he's wearing a translucent athletic cup over his face.
Yeah, it's very impressive. It almost looks bird-like.
Yeah, I don't know. I not really sure, but apparently he made a sign and displayed it.
Yeah.
With the F word clearly written out very big.
And yet sort of softballs the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there must be a reason
Well, you
behind
can't
that.
say the in public.
That's
No?
true.
Oh, my
Yeah.
God,
I
dude.
didn't
Let's
think
stuff
about
that out.
So anyhow, yeah.
I love that.
If anybody knows, let us know so we can let Adam know who that is because he's curious. You love that?
I do.
Yeah.
I assume you're going to be locked down for the game case, right?
Yeah. Yes.
You're not
yeah.
going, right? You sold those?
Sold the tickets. So, and the guy that I share them with, it was funny because once he saw what ticket prices were going for, he's like, yeah, let's get rid of those things.
So what range are we talking about?
500 a piece.
Yeah.
So essentially, if they make it past this round and into the next round, we will be able to go to the NFC Championship game for free. And then whatever excess money, that'll maybe pay for the tailgate. I don't really know, but
that's a smart way to do it.
It is, and I'm not like pessimistic. I'm realistic, and the way I sort of look at it is like, dude, if they don't make it past this round, I don't want to be at that game. I don't mind going to a championship game that they don't succeed in, but this is not one that I would want to be at. It's also the kind of the reason, like when I go to like Sixers games and stuff like that, if they're up by like 15 points with like 4 minutes left, I'm leaving. Because
my grandmother used to say, be optimistic, be pessimistic. Just be istic.
I just want to point out, Marissa made a little face like a true fan wouldn't do that.
Okay, whatever.
No, I didn't say that.
I know. Your face did.
Said I
Your
don't
face said
agree.
it all.
I'm very excited for the game. A little different than Casey. I look, it's going to be cold, and it's going to be a very long day getting ready for that game. But
how
it's
many
gonna
children
be
do you
fun.
have? I was just wondering.
I know.
How many children do you have? And
Believe me.
like,
What does that have to do with
And
it?
then how long does it take for you to drive out of the parking lot and then drive home? And I'm sorry, you got the subway and no children.
No,
That's the thing. I have different responsibilities than she has at home.
She can have an opinion on whether or not she wants to go to the game.
My saddest thing is the Lunar New Year is Saturday, so I'm going to miss the fireworks in Chinatown at midnight. If
damn
it's
it!
late,
Son of a
so.
It's not that. She's allowed to have an opinion, but her opinion is
critical of your
Doesn't
opinion.
It's
matter.
critical of my opinion.
It was a little bit of a ball busting face issue.
The cold alone would have me home.
Oh yeah.
How much better can it be to watch it at home with your blankie and your little whoopee?
I love that too.
The best thing, the best thing I think about going to live sporting events, especially ones that are really really important, are just the people around you and yelling and screaming and grabbing each other and that whole thing.
There's nothing like that, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you just had it with the Phils.
But you can do it pretty close to it if you got a bunch of friends over or
Right.
you're at a party. Everybody can have that type of thing.
I went to the NFC Championship game when they blew out the Vikings, and I sat by myself for 3 quarters, right? Because I'm so superstitious that I was like, if I leave, if I do anything different, they're gonna give up this lead, and so it got to a certain point in the game where I was like, there's no way they're losing this thing. So then I went down because my 2 brothers were in the lower level, and I was with them for the whole 4th quarter. And I mean, the people that I was crowding into, they didn't care. It was the camaraderie there. Like everybody was like, let's hug. This. It was a great feeling.
Yeah, Casey and I talk about this all season long. He'll ask me about a play, and sometimes I'll shrug my shoulders because when you're in the stadium, you're not getting the replays.
Yeah.
You have no idea what the announcers are saying. You're not seeing what's happening on the sidelines. You're just kind of watching the play, and you might miss something peripherally.
Peripherally.
Thank you. Around it. But I don't know. I have these great seats where I'm like against a wall and I can sit and I can stand and I have good people around
that's
me.
cool. That's
the
good.
people who are around me have gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
It's just fun.
Yeah, my seats, listen, I'm up top and you're up top as well. I love it. I can watch the entire play unfold. I can see the entire field. I can see when people are open. And but also I'm in the 5th row, which is crazy, Steve, because it's like a front row.
Yeah.
Because the first 4, like you have to walk up to my seats, but the first 4 rows are kind of like level. So I have a wall in front of me.
Oh, that's nice.
The people in row 4 in front of me, they could do jumping jacks, and I wouldn't even see their hands.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm in row 4, which is right under where Casey is.
Okay.
That's where the chick dropped her fingernail on my beard.
Oh, God,
the other night.
Explain what happened.
Oh, yeah. We never talked about this.
Well, because like there's like a 4-foot drop in between, maybe 3 foot or whatever. And we were standing there with beers, and all of a sudden we heard like a clink.
Yeah.
Kind of like if you're like pulling a pull tab and you drop it into the drink and you hear it clink in the can. And me and my friend look at each other. We're like, what was that? And we looked down, and there was just a fingernail sitting there. It was like on the lip of the beer.
Oh my
just
God.
sitting there.
Was it well manicured?
It was like a fake nail that the girl was
Like
just
a tip?
picking off. Yep.
And she was throwing them down on top of you?
Oh.
And her partner who was with her was like, ew, and he freaks out. And I just look at her. I'm like, you want it back? Did it fall off? Because any girl knows that if it's a tip that it was falling off, you can glue it back on.
But she saw, like, she knew it landed on your beer?
Yeah, it was a boring game. So she was just bored and she was picking her nails.
Did she offer to buy you a new beer?
No.
Wow.
That's disgusting.
We still drank it. It
It's
didn't fall
disgusting, but
in.
it's
Who
not as
would
bad.
want to miss out on that?
Kath, it's not as bad as the time I was talking to Gary Lauer and
God, I don't wanna hear
and
it.
spit came out of his
No.
mouth and it was like slow motion, like roar, 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 and like landed on my bottom lip. And I was like,
Sorry about that.
my God. I was like, please, somebody burn my face off.
I'm a big proponent of suicide prevention, but I would have killed myself right then and there.
Yes. We have to carterize that immediately.
You essentially made out with Gary.
I did.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
Oh, my
All right.
God.
Oh, God.
Well, anyhow, we'll enjoy the game in no matter what form you decide to
I'm
partake.
coming over to your house to watch
Coming
it, but
over?
yeah.
Come on over,
Big
man.
spaghetti.
Yeah. Yes.
I'll bring a bag of spaghetti. And then, no? Okay, fine.
You'll never bring spaghetti.
You got to show up.
You don't
with the
bring me
biggest-
spaghetti.
The biggest plate of spaghetti.
Anymore. What's that, Kath?
You got at one point just
I
have
will.
to surprise him and show up with like the biggest plate ever of spaghetti.
Someday. Someday, maybe.
Maybe
Someday
today.
my spaghetti will come.
We'll see. All right. Well, moving on to some other things, and I guess
What are you?
I don't know.
Are you just
we've
the guy-
already done.
Are you just you?
We already did the noticer. We
Stream
did
of
the stream of
consciousness?
consciousness yesterday. We could do. Casey's doing something. I don't know what he's getting ready to pull up
who
a piece
knows?
of music. So I don't know what this is going to be. I'll have to wait. Am I waiting for something?
Are you the uncertainer?
Wait, is that something that we're doing now?
What?
Uncertainer?
No.
No? All right. I'm trying to find. Okay. I have it. I
right.
don't remember the name of this particular character.
Okay.
But
What
was
use
that?
theme song for? This is just the other day. It wasn't.
I think it was stream of consciousness.
No.
it's like Shack Racker.
Oh wait.
Yeah.
No, it is a stream of
Yes, it
consciousness.
is.
Sir. Yes.
No.
Yes, it is.
Let's
No,
just do stream of
we just
consciousness.
did it yesterday.
We did.
No, stream of consciousness is this.
Yes. Yeah, he's right. Ah, damn it.
And the
we don't even
reason-
know our own bits
All right, come on.
anymore.
We're going to do this together, guys. The
All right.
reason I chose rock lobster is because the words rock lobster kind of rhyme with what this character is.
Or the syllables. Hold
There
on.
was like a shack in there or something.
Marissa knows, but give us a hint. Give us a hint.
Was it Plock Plopster?
We just made a reel about it on our Instagram.
We did.
A couple of days ago.
Okay.
Preston doesn't know exactly what he's going to talk about.
We're just going to...
Nobody in the room, in fact, knows what is going to be talked about.
That would be the stream of consciousness, Ner.
We let it go into a random pile.
Stack of topics.
Oh, stack of topics. Well, that's not this.
Oh.
No,
That's not this.
I mean, we can do that if you
No,
want,
then
but...
just go with the stream of consciousness, Ner.
All right, well,
Seems the most appropriate.
Anyway, I had a couple...
It's very important because the stories that you'll tell will be dramatically different.
Yes, of course. Totally different. No, the results from a 6-month trial are in, and apparently this is it's time for this to happen. Fridays need to be a day off for everyone.
So everyone wants that 3-day weekend.
Yeah.
Would you rather have Friday off or Monday off, though?
It wouldn't matter. At that point, it would be 3 days, and I wouldn't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I guess even could be broken up. What about 2 on, 3 off type of thing? You know, or I mean,
like shifts.
2 on, 1 off, 3 on, 2 off.
No, I don't ever want to work on the weekends.
Okay.
So I wouldn't be okay with the 3-2.
All right. So the trial involving 33 companies and employees in 6 countries, organized by 4-Day Week Global. But the question is, were workers just as productive working a 4-day work week? And results were positive. Companies in the program reported increased revenue and happier and healthier workers.
With a 3-day weekend.
Yes.
All right.
Employer Sense Soothing Solutions.
That's
claims
a lot of S's.
Employer Sense Soothing Solutions.
Thick.
Is
Employer
thick.
Sense Soothing Solutions.
Claims the 4-day work week has allowed employees to explore hobbies and spend time with loved ones.
Look, I built a ship in a bottle.
In fact, let's see here. One of our employees, they said from the establishment, said that one of our employees has an elderly parent who is extremely ill, and she got to spend 3-4 days a week with them, according to the founder of this.
So this is interesting because I read an article, I think it was in Forbes, about the businesses putting the big push on getting people back in the office. But you could do both. I mean, this is always, even when that was the case, if you had the 3-day weekend, which are awesome. I do like extended. I'm actually better with the long weekends than I am with very long vacations.
That's why we're doing it in July and August.
Yeah.
Past couple of years. It's worked out nicely. We've taken, that's our actual vacation time, and we've decided to use it that way.
So, like you guys, I'm a proponent of the 4-day work week, 3-day weekend, whatever. I'm just cynical in thinking that it'll ever actually happen.
Oh, not in our lifetime.
No.
And it's kind of like the daylight saving time shift. Like, that's never probably going to happen. So I've just become accustomed to the fact that probably for the rest of my working life, it'll be a 5-day work.
Do you think we could switch a Monday and Friday? Begin the week with Friday and then end with Monday.
No.
And end with Monday.
See, that's the thing. I would like for what we do, I would prefer to work on Friday and have off on Mondays because I just love the Friday vibe here. Like,
I agree.
Yeah. I mean,
But we'd
listen,
have
the
that vibe on Thursday.
We could have that vibe on Thursday. You're right.
That's what I'm saying.
But also,
any idiot could say
we have like comedians and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's in relation to the listeners too. Like, I think listeners respond to our Friday vibe, and so if they're on the same vibe that we are, it makes for a better show.
A couple of years ago, I did like a little poll on Twitter, and I was surprised at the results as to which day people preferred, and it was either Sunday or Friday because people have off on Sundays, but they still work on Friday.
I prefer Friday.
And people prefer Fridays, even though they're working.
Dramatically. Sunday, you're counting down the clock, and Friday, you've got the weekend ahead of you. In fact, I will say Thursday afternoon and evening is glorious in many ways.
It's not bad.
Friday after work, okay, we're going for it. Saturday, awesome, even into the night. You can stay up late. For us, time off is felt more acutely in how late I can stay up.
Yes.
As opposed to, because we
totally.
right? Because we are home in the afternoons. You know, and so that's not felt as much. That's like when they close the offices early here, we would have to stay around to take advantage of that.
Yeah, we would have to stay late to get out early.
Yeah, really, Saturday's only the only really good day.
Enjoyable day.
Right. It's the only really good day of the
You know what I love is a big fat old nap on Friday right after work. You
That's
know,
good,
just getting,
too.
Yeah, just getting ready
In
for
the
weekend.
nude on your front lawn.
On my front lawn, yes.
Well, and because you don't have to be concerned about, all right, I can't sleep too long in my nap because I'll be up all night. And so, yes, a good Friday nap is pretty fantastic.
I love falling asleep in bumper-to-bumper traffic.
Oh, God, yes.
It's so fun.
Now, Case, you won't relate to this anymore, but I'll tell you what I absolutely love about Friday. That first swig of beer is just, oh my God, is it magical? I will
Especially in the summer.
Yeah. I will open a beer
Doesn't matter the season.
I will open a beer and I will literally, and Kathy, you will love this. I just sit there before I drink it. I stick my nose down in that bottle and I inhale that scent and I just go.
So I hear
and
you
I'll do it like 3 times. And I'll be like, oh, here we go. Come to Papa.
Preston, like,
here we go.
I hear you do it because it's here in the office that you crack your first beer.
Right. But there's something that's just so magical about that. On that front, you're right, though, Case. There's a lot of freedom after work on Friday that is just unmatched.
Yeah, I love it.
Then you get all day Saturday, but
Sunday.
I do start to have little wisps of thoughts about Monday at some points on Saturday as well.
The Sunday scaries are a real thing. I mean, I've had them since college,
worst.
and they just sort of creeps into your brain and.
Listen,
annoying.
Nick, we are charged with putting on a masterful, wildly entertaining show every day.
I know.
Yeah.
That's a lot of responsibility.
It's just a lot of responsibility.
A lot of pressure.
Masterful.
Yeah.
Wildly.
It's
award-winning.
Veritable clinic in how to be broadcasters. And we know that the weight of that is on us as we're sitting there on Sunday afternoon.
But Nick, I'm with you. I'm not holding out hope at all that it will ever happen. It may happen after we retire. Was that case?
We're just gonna have to do it ourselves.
Yeah.
So
if you want anything done,
our next contract negotiation.
Yeah,
I want extra spinach.
Our next contract negotiation in 8 years.
Yes.
Coming up on 7. It'll be 7 soon.
Right.
But, we'll talk
spinach
about
and
it
a
then.
4-day work week.
Yeah. I'm sure you know my agent, Popeye.
All right, saw a couple other things. And I guess we're doing that.
A much beloved character.
GM's first ever electrified Corvette. They announced this yesterday. Will be available later this year. Yes.
Electrified?
It's grease
personified?
Yeah.
Is it just as fast?
It's faster.
Oh, wow.
So it's going to start at $104,000, by the way. So it ain't cheap. It will be it's not fully electric. It's actually a hybrid.
Oh, I love the idea of the hybrid.
And it's also all-wheel drive, which is another first.
I love getting all the wheels.
They've always had positive traction essentially on Corvettes, but this will be an all-wheel.
Are you sure?
Positive.
What is positive traction?
So why can they start making the regular gas vehicles look as cool as the electric vehicles? Did you see like
there's a ton of
I don't know if I believe that.
The lyric that Cadillac makes is awesome. The new Lincoln that they make is pretty awesome looking.
I maybe I haven't seen those, but I have yet to see an EV car that makes me go, wow, that's badass. They're certainly different, but it doesn't quite do it for me yet. I'm not saying that they won't and that they don't exist, but I personally haven't seen one that's made me go, wow, that's
Tesla
awesome.
started the ball rolling with doing something that's a sleek-looking car and getting there. The e-tron, the Audi e-tron GT, another one. And they're around it. But the case, I agree with Preston. I'm still waiting for that. It blows me away.
Yep.
We'll get there, but the concept of the hybrid, and you have a hybrid, do you not?
Our van is a hybrid. Yeah, it's a plug-in hybrid.
Yeah, I think that's a great concept, and we make those look sexy as well.
The other thing
make
I like
me look sexy.
Oh, you already do. Yeah,
thank you,
especially when you do Dr.
You
Chet
and me, let's have
Wainwright.
some soup later on. You like Chet Wainwright?
Oh yeah, the way you look at the camera.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Excuse me, Dr. Wainwright.
There it is. He's still got it. What were you going to say?
No, I like so they were making these with the Charger and the Challenger. The Charger and the Challenger, these retro cars that they bring back, they make them look sleek. I would love for them to bring back a retro car that has all the bells and whistles of like new technology, but looks like the original. I would love to see like like a Challenger.
Yeah.
Well, that is boxy like the old Challenger was.
But has all the modern.
They just came out with was it the Challenger or was it the I remember because, and I'm not sure which one it was, but they made sure to include a Rumble emulator.
Yeah.
Right, and so that you'd get close to the Rumble.
Yeah. Casey wants it to look exactly.
Yeah. Right.
The outside of it to look
like
exactly
a Chevelle.
like it.
I'd love to see a Chevelle. I really like the way those cars looked.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyhow,
Gremlin.
Moving on about the details on this new Vet. It's called the E-Ray, by the way. So it's like a play off a Stingray.
Yeah.
will be the quickest production Corvette ever, Nick. It will achieve 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds.
Whoa.
A quarter mile in 10.5 seconds. It's similar to some supercars, and the current Corvette is Z06 track car. But you get you're quicker off the line.
Is that base price more expensive than the base price on a gas Corvette?
I think so. I mean, it depends on which one you buy, because there are some that are over $100,000.
Okay. They're premium models, right? So if you were to get this is not outlandish in the world of Corvettes, right?
Yeah,
that price.
The Z06, I think, ran under $100,000. Man, I don't know.
What about the Potsy?
I haven't priced one in a long time. An all-electric Corvette is expected at some point, but GM has not announced timing for the EV version. The Detroit automaker is also says that it plans to exclusively offer all-electric vehicles by 2035. The E-Ray's hybrid system features an electric motor on the front axle that provides 160 additional horsepower and 125 pound-feet of torque. It provides a quicker takeoff than traditional internal combustion engine. In total, GM said the E-Ray produces a combined 655 horsepower from both the electric motor and small block V8. It will be available as a coupe and a convertible. It's expected to be the only hybrid in GM's lineup when it arrives in showrooms. GM discontinued hybrid and plug-in hybrid electric vehicles, or PHEVs, over the years to exclusively focus on all-electric cars or trucks. So this actually, the battery system is charged mostly via regenerative energy from coasting and braking, as well as normal driving, so you won't have to plug it in.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Is Tesla like losing some steam here because of all these other companies?
Well, it's only natural.
Competition. Yeah,
I mean, they broke the mold and they stepped out and created the first productions.
Yeah, you got to remember, prior to it, it's like the Chevy Volt is what you saw on the road.
Right.
Tesla made something sexy.
Yeah, if you have success with that, then people are going to follow.
Absolutely.
And so it's going to take a bite. It's going to take a piece of the pie.
Is the Tesla going to be the Hydrox of electric vehicles?
So what they will do is they will do a massive upgrade on their. They're well into a lot of the tech. But I think it's time for, I've always loved Cadillacs, but there was a point in time in which I thought the Cadillac looked way too boxy.
Agreed. Agreed. And then they also took that emblem. They didn't really change the way, they just kind of elongated it.
They made it the shocker.
Casey, remind me what the Hydrox is.
It was the original Oreo. Hydrox came out before Oreo.
Okay.
And then Oreo's like, oh, really? Okay, we're going to do the same thing, but make it better.
Oreo said, D's nuts.
The E-Ray was developed before such plans for the hybrid stuff in conjunction with development of the 8th generation Corvette. The C8 is the model that's currently out now. That came out in 2019. The car was the first Corvette to have a mid-engine design, so the engine's in the back instead of in the front. So it's going to look like the C8 essentially, and then eventually they're going to have another model. I assume the C9 will be its own electric, based look about it.
To be honest, if you're in the market for we have the auto show coming up.
Yep,
and that it's a wonderful way to go around and see what you like and what you don't like.
Here we go, Steve. The Corvette Z06, which is the all combustion engine, it's $106,000. So it's more than the EV. So this is competitively priced. The convertible is about $111,000.
Because they're taking off a roof.
$100,000 cars are so common now.
Yeah.
I mean, like a few years ago, it used to be like. And it is ridiculously expensive to pay that amount for a car, but it is so much more common now. And trucks and SUVs, over $100,000. It's obscene to think about that.
Yeah, I mean they're incredibly. I've seen more women driving like F-150s. Right?
Yeah.
Is that they are the big, the big hauling trucks.
Yep.
And they're just the amenities that are in these vehicles.
Yeah, they're expensive.
Crazy.
Yeah.
My friend drives a one of those Cadillac. I believe it's an Escalade, but it's like elongated. It's like
a Dickfur.
What's a Dickfur?
Cadillac Dickfur. But I got into this thing, and I mean, it was like because I sat in the back seat, I was like, this I'm like in a limousine right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of limousines,
nice segue, bro.
Thank you. There was another story about a TikToker named Marlaville, I think is her name. Anyway, she ordered an Uber pickup early morning, so she should get to the airport, and she added that she requested a quiet trip.
Right.
which Uber says is a trip without any music or conversation from the driver, so you can request this.
I had no idea. So I've never looked into the ways you can tailor your Uber experience or your Lyft experience, but this is apparently fairly common.
So when the driver arrived, it wasn't quiet. There was loud music blaring as they drove. She said that she then politely asked the driver to turn down the music. She said he turned it down like one click. And after about 10 minutes driving with loud music, she asked if he could turn the music off for the duration of the ride. Instead of doing that, he said, I'm going to take you home.
Wow.
And he turned back around and took her back to her house.
What, you don't like System of a Down?
In a follow-up video, Marlaville clarified that the driver did not know her address upon deciding to return to her home, asking her to provide it. And she said, I had to give him my address, which is now a safety concern for me. But she said, she said, I was confused and honestly concerned because his reaction was so disproportionate. I called my mom to stay on with me to make sure that I was safe. And she said, I was trying to keep things in perspective. I was confused but not angry. Luckily, I had other options available to me.
Isn't there a number
I hope he was kinder to his next rider.
Isn't there a number you can text if you're an Uber passenger?
There is, but
in real time.
Yeah, but
If you don't
being
feel
on
unsafe.
the phone with your mom probably is a better safety net.
Right.
I've done the request for the quiet ride on Uber. It's
By
really
the way,
easy.
she had to get a new driver and a new flight.
A new flight?
Yeah, she was going to the airport. That's ridiculous. I'm sorry, Nick. Go ahead.
No, it's super easy to just ask for that, and then
And the driver knows. He should have been informed that was right.
And he should have certainly complied with her request. I had an Uber ride 2 or 3 weeks ago that was the best Uber ride I've ever had. It was like a personalized chauffeur. She had like breath mints. She was like, "What color would you like it in the car?" She
That's
could change the colors. It was unbelievably plush. And
What's your favorite animal?
yeah, we were talking about giraffes.
I got one in the trunk. No, that is so cool.
No, that was hers.
Oh,
yeah.
I like when they do that, and sometimes they'll put little bottles of water in the back seat for me or whatever.
Can I speak on that real quick?
Yeah, please.
Just for a second. I'm sorry to interrupt, Kathy, because I know you want to say I was with somebody when we took an Uber ride one time, and the floor kind of had the car wasn't in great shape.
Right.
And the person I was with was thinking about maybe giving like a medium rating. And I said, no, did you notice, though, there were stains on the carpet, but it had been cleaned. Like,
Right.
this was as clean as the vehicle could have been gotten.
And maybe that person's working their way.
This guy's
trying
using
to-
his personal vehicle.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah, think about it. I looked around, too, because I noticed it was kind of the car was slightly beat up. But they had cleaned it, and they had gotten it to as good looking
Trying
as
as
they
hard as-
could.
yes.
I thought that deserves even a little bit more. Like
I
a
think
really
so.
good tip.
Good call. I agree.
I had an Uber not that long ago, actually, during our Christmas break, and he had some sort of air freshener in his car.
Oh, you love those.
Oh my God! We were with a bunch of people. It was a bigger car, and they were all laughing at me. I had the window down and was like hanging. It was freezing and raining too, and I was hanging my nose out the window because it was so strong. It was making me sick.
Put your nose inside.
But I was like, what? And then we figured it out before we got
What
out.
was it?
Whatever it was on the vent. So it was like, blowing back directly into my face.
Jeez.
Rochelle likes those.
I have to say,
like those.
between the Uber and the Lyft experiences, I've always had good experiences. You know, like you say, you put those things like a couple bottles of water and some mints.
Yeah.
It really
Nice touch.
Yeah. What are your Uber scores, by the way? Your personal Uber ratings?
It's been a while since I've taken.
If you click on your Uber app and then you go to your account, it says it in the upper.
Mine says bestest ever.
What, the drivers rate us?
Yeah. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
'cause
I don't
yours
use
says
it that often.
delicious.
I'm 4.85.
Where do you find it, Casey?
Click on account lower right and then upper left.
Oh, upper
4.7.
I'm a 4.9.
Oh, I'm a 4.77 too.
Okay.
I'm a 90. Oh, wait, that's a sleep number.
That's your sleep.
Right.
Nick, what are you for? What?
4.85.
I'm the lowest.
I'm looking for
I
my
got
app.
a rock.
Do you tip, Preston?
I tip cash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You tip cash?
I tip cash. That
Why?
way they don't have to claim it. And I always say that. I'm like, you can fudge your tax records if you feel like it.
Hey, I'm actively encouraging you to not pay taxes.
Do they comment as well?
Well, that's why I'm looking at the rides because I want to see like who gave me a good score and who didn't.
Yeah, you can't.
Oh, bummer.
I think, I think it's the other way around. So that way, they can't take retribution on you.
Here you go.
I'm going to kill you.
How your rating is calculated. An average of the ratings you've received from drivers. It's measured out of 5 stars. Ratings are anonymous, so neither you nor your driver will ever see an individual rating that you've received. Very few people have a perfect rating, so don't despair if your average isn't 5.0. Things that seem small to you can matter to your driver. It's easy to accidentally slam a door if you're not thinking about it. Knowing a little more about the things that affect a driver's happiness can help you be a 5-star rider. Like short wait times. Drivers love when riders are ready to go. When they arrive at the pickup location, that includes making sure the location you entered is actually where you'll be. Okay, so here's something on that. I've seen, the little map that it shows?
Yeah.
And where you are and where the driver is?
Yeah.
Like, I've gotten confused on which way I'm walking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh.
And I'm like, oh, my God, I'm headed down the wrong way on this block. I got to turn around. And where is this? And you can't find it. So maybe that's where my lackluster... Because I have had to run across the street and flag the guy down because I haven't been able to find out exactly where they are.
Like if you're walking around a city block, that's where it gets super challenging.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of which airport I was at where there were 2 levels, and I thought I was I had to be on the lower level, but I was on the upper level where people got picked up.
And then you look at the map. And you can't tell.
Like, I'm here!
Right, and they're literally like right above you or right below you. Yeah.
That's when you need that.
All right, so I just had to upgrade. I haven't used Uber in a while. And where is the case?
All right, so if you go to the lower left where it says account, click on that, and then you look at the lower right where it says account.
Okay.
Click that, and then in the upper left, it should say your rating.
There's a little star with a number by it.
5.00.
Nice.
5.00?
Yeah.
You have a perfect rating.
Oh, good.
You're perfect. It's 5 out of 5. So
I am beautiful.
I'm the lowest. Marissa, do you Uber at all? Well, of course you Uber. You live in the city. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking about it. I probably take like 8 Ubers a week.
What's your score?
I am a.
Give her a second. She didn't open it up yet. That's okay.
Sorry.
They make you upgrade, and if it disappears from your. If you're well over the time that the app has been upgraded, it disappears from your phone, your menu face.
Oh,
okay.
Well, I'm not as good as Steve, but I have a 4.9.
Okay,
Nice.
4.9.
Yeah, Press. The first time I ever Ubered was in Chicago last year. I didn't know how to do it. Yeah. I'd never.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I don't drink, so I can always drive everywhere.
Do you use
so-
Lyft at all?
Well, okay, then that's
No.
why you asked me if you should give that guy a bad rating.
Yeah.
Or not. Okay.
Yeah, I was the guy. I was the mystery guy you were talking about. That was the first time
This guy's a neffing slob.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to do it.
Well, now you know. All right.
Hey, let's set that hobo on fire.
I got something else. So there is a contest in Iowa, and it's called the Husband Calling Contest.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I saw
There it
this.
is.
It's really funny.
The practice has generated buzz after footage of the 2017 Iowa State Fair event went viral on TikTok. Footage shows women stepping up to the mic and demonstrating how they summon their husbands.
I love this. Do we have audio?
I need to hear this.
I didn't go look it up, but
See if there's any audio available, Marissa.
yeah, I'm sure
Thank you.
she can find it. So, by the way, do you guys yell in your house?
Yes.
When you're trying to
No, I'll text.
find someone else in the
I'd
house?
rather. I hate yelling in the house so much that if I'm
Dude.
downstairs and I need something from Ben or Andrea, I'll text them and then go track them down.
Rochelle yells.
No.
And so she will do it, and I love her to death, obviously, but she will do it. Oh, it'll be like this. It'll be like, Carter! Carter! Carter!
Okay, I won't get to that point.
Carter!
Oh my God.
And I'm like, go upstairs. He can't hear you.
So maybe 2, but then I just go. I'm not going to be going.
Oh
because I sit in the back room quite a bit. That's where my TV is. That's where my spot is. And the dog, Reggie, will come up and let me know that he needs to go out, and I don't feel like getting up. And so I'll yell to whoever I think is closest.
Yeah.
And then, but the kids know that, so they will not answer. 'Cause they don't want to let the dogs out either.
It's just
They
I'm
ignore
like,
you.
It's just the 2 of us in the house, so it's either you, it's either me or Claire. That's it. So, yeah. But you have options, but the options ignore you clearly.
Oh, they ignore me. Oh, they're
Now, the
worst.
texting thing, though, it can be hit or miss because, I don't always,
Yeah.
mine's muted all the time. I told you because we work in a studio. I'm so used to having the speaker muted all the time, so I may not get that text.
Do you have Alexas around the house? Echoes?
Yes.
So
Well, not the echoes. We used them for a while, but I got tired of them because every now and then I would I would have music playing in one room, and then I'd go to a different one, and music was playing there. A completely different type of music for whatever reason. It kept happening over and over and over and over. So I'm like, screw this.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that tap in thing.
You drop in. I say, like, Claire's on the 3rd floor, so drop in Claire's bedroom. And then you
So you say that to the one Alexa, and then it'll drop into the other one?
Right, yeah. And it becomes an intercom.
Then what does it do? Intercom?
It'll intercom to her room.
Yeah. And she can talk back to you?
Yes, yeah.
And then they can hear you without you, and you don't know. So my wife's like, drop into the bedroom, and she just hears.
Yo,
ever heard of jerkmate?
Yeah, you'll hear a notification.
There's an alert.
It'll announce it to you. So, but no, I haven't used that. No, everybody yells. Not everybody, but it drives me crazy. But apparently, it's a contest. And
we have. Do you want to hear? We can go 4th place or 3rd place. Which one do you want to hear? We'll go backwards.
All right, fourth to 3rd.
This is 4th place. I think Marissa's working on 2nd and 1st.
All right, these are the husband callers. Here we go.
Bob! Hurry up! I don't want to be late.
Oh, you
Bob,
bitch!
hurry! Bob! Robert Dean!
All right.
Okay.
That was a 4th place winner.
4th place.
What?
No, that would bother the hell out of me.
Well, I think it's intended to.
Yeah, I know.
Look, stop bothering me!
All right, here's
That's Bob.
here's 3rd
Oh,
place.
shut up, woman.
Have that ready. There we go.
Yoo-hoo! Yoo-hoo!
Aw.
Key! Yoo-hoo! Cuckoo!
What?
Cuckoo! The clock says...
Oh, shut up, woman.
Wow.
That was a little bit cute.
That's
actually.
sort of bizarre.
Hey, that's bizarre.
Coco.
Why the F did I marry this?
All right, 2nd place contestant.
What was that?
I don't know. I
Oh
like
my God.
Daryl though.
Yeah, I'm gonna say.
Maybe that's somebody else named Ray in the house. All
All right, and this is 1st place right here.
right, I think she's calling Roy.
Roy.
Here we go.
Can you hear me? You get yourself in here right now! Come on! You know you're going to be late again, and you know that I want to get there on time. Roy! Roy!
Oh my God.
Wow.
Oh, shut up, woman.
Yeah.
So we saw the video. Apparently, that was like an older
Yeah, she
woman.
looked cute.
Yeah, I think she was playing a bit of a character.
Wearing a cute little hat and everything. So
Shut up, bitch.
Remember when we used to do the what was it, the Kentucky Derby, but we had wives carrying their husbands. What did we call that?
we called it. Oh, the
Run for the Roses?
It was the Run for the GD Roses.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
Because
Yeah.
that was the client at the time.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that similar to this?
I think it's a wonderful contest. for
It's a
husbands.
lovely
Yeah, yeah.
contest.
I told you guys about the lady at my swim club growing up. She didn't know how to whistle, so she would come through the front gate, and this is the way she would call her kids because she couldn't whistle. She would just hear her going, woo woo, woo woo.
Would you go? What is it again?
So anyhow, I don't know what these guys won, but yeah, apparently that's a regular thing. And right now, this video has over 16 million views.
Oh my God!
So it's gonna get it. You gonna hang on to that?
Oh yeah,
got
Daryl.
And play that along with Bobby and Cindy.
Yeah.
So the third son they let die.
Yes, yeah.
Bobby!
Yeah, play them all.
Cindy!
Mike, where's Daryl? We lost him.
You can't add reverb to it, can you?
Yeah.
The Daryl?
Yeah.
Not over here. Well,
Yeah, you can.
Send it to me and I can.
I can do that right now.
He's gonna
Where is the reverb thingy? I have it.
hit a couple of buttons and switches and things like that.
There's reverb. I can do. Where the freak? Okay, here we go. I can just do. I'm gonna do a little bit, and then we will commit. Let's see if that did anything.
Yeah. Well, that's room reverb.
That's
Yeah,
all right.
That's
all right.
okay.
Yeah, it still works.
Yeah.
All right, there's one more thing that I want to mention today, and then we'll move along. But I thought this was pretty cool. There was a guy, Royce Williams, Navy pilot for more than 50 years, could not talk about an epic Korean War dogfight that he was in. It was with 7 Soviet fighter jets.
Amazing.
He had been sworn to secrecy because of Cold War sensitivities, and all mention of the battle was scrubbed from the official records. And now, the 97-year-old California resident is going to receive the Navy Cross, which is the second highest award for combat valor. He said Friday afternoon that he's pleased to get the recognition. This might be a step to him eventually getting the Congressional Medal of Honor. Yes, he said, my friends have been trying to get this for me for a long time. So the ceremony is scheduled for the 20th at noon at the San Diego Air and Space Museum in the Balboa Park, by the way.
It is a pleasure to meet all of you. I didn't even know there was a Korean War. I know Evolutionary, I know Sybil, and I know...
Evolutionary.
Yeah, and a couple others.
The Evolutionary War.
Yeah.
So here's what happened, which is pretty wild, which is why I bring this up. It was November 18th, 1952. Williams was in a F9 F5 Panther jet patrolling the Yalu River, which separated North Korea and Soviet territories. The Soviets were directly involved in the war, but they had planes. They weren't directly involved in the war, but they did have planes in the sky protecting their airspace. Williams and 3 other Americans, also in Panthers, encountered 7 hostile Soviet MiG-15s. The other U.S. planes were soon scattered by engine trouble and enemy fire, and then Williams was alone in a dogfight. He shot down 4 of them.
It's amazing.
Before escaping to an aircraft carrier. And he said a lot of it was awareness of where they were and how I had to maneuver to avoid them. They were taking turns, and I decided if I concentrated on shooting them down, I'd become an easy target. So my initial goal was to look for defensive opportunities when they made mistakes. When he landed, he counted 263 holes in his aircraft.
Whoa.
And he was uninjured. Worried about, and here's why they had to keep it a secret. They were worried about drawing the Soviets into the Korean War. So U.S. military commanders hushed any public mention of the battle. Williams got pats on the back and shared a cocktail with President-elect Dwight Eisenhower, but was ordered not to tell anyone, not even his wife. I mean, it was like national security.
This is Coke and champagne. I call it cocaine.
He served another 23 years in the Navy, including 110 flight missions over Vietnam.
So when was he allowed officially? When did they, just recently they did this?
So in the early 2000s, U.S. records from the Korean War were finally declassified.
Okay.
And word of the dogfight started to spread, especially in military aviation circles. And so then you got to get the paperwork rolling and try to get recognition.
Once the war was over for decades, the risk was no longer there of drawing them into the Korean War.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But they hold on to stuff like that.
I know.
And,
it's crazy.
And wait for a long time. It was like the movie Argo.
Yeah.
That was a CIA operation, and they had to keep it quiet for a long time. And eventually they were able to recognize the people involved in that.
Yeah.
So they hold on to it because it's sensitive for it.
You ever do a Google search over North Korea, Google or Bing, like the satellite?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Is it blank?
No. You can see stuff, but it's.
I've done it over the White House before, and they don't let you you can't see certain things. Yeah.
Oh. There's tons of documentaries and footage where you can see even from space. You're seeing South Korea lit up and North Korea nothing.
One of the Apple TV screensavers is them going over that part of the peninsula, and you can see the line where South Korea begins. And no pun intended, it's like night and day.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Bam had told us years ago when he was there. It was that some sort of equivalent of like the Gumball Rally.
Yeah.
Remember they were driving around the world?
Yeah.
And they ended up in North Korea. Somehow there was some special accommodation.
Yeah.
But literally, like at around 7:30 at night, they shut the lights off in the city.
wild.
Yeah. They said they lost their friend. What was his name? Daryl, I think.
They were looking everywhere for him. All right, and on that note, we're wrapping this up. We need to take a break, so we... Steve, I've got that. Hey. So we will take a break, and we will come back in a moment. And what are we doing next? We doing the Bizarre File next? Yeah. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
2 years.
All right. Well done.
You didn't get it past him, but thank you very much for helping out. All right.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye. All right, we have one more to go in Brit or Not a Brit, and the final person is Robert. Robert, are you there?
Top of the morning, it.
All right, top of the morning it to you. All right, Robert, we sent you a movie line from Philadelphia. Go ahead and give it to us, please.
You know where Southpaw comes from, I'll tell you. A long time ago, there was this guy, maybe a couple of 100 years ago. He was fighting around, I think it was around Philadelphia, and his arm, he was left-handed, and his arm was facing toward New Jersey, you see, and that's south. So then naturally they call him Southpaw. You see, Southpaw. South Jersey, South Camden, Southpaw. You know what I mean?
That's from Rocky Balboa.
Yes, yeah.
I remember
when
that.
they were on the ice
Rocky.
skating rink.
What's that?
Number
Rocky.
Oh,
Not Rocky
yeah.
Balboa. Yeah, he's skating around with Adrian.
That's in the
ice
South
skating
Pole,
rink.
South,
Yeah.
South Philadelphia, South America, South, North, a direction, as in directions you might go, one of them being south.
And that's where we got it.
Yeah.
Joel, what do you think?
Yeah, I think Brit. I think he's from Ireland.
Oh, poor man. He probably doesn't want to identify as British, does he?
Yeah,
And
what
he's
about-
Irish, yeah.
You think he's Irish?
Yeah, I don't want to offend any because Irish people don't like to be called British, but for the sake of the game, British.
follow you.
Okay.
But
All right.
I think Irish.
Robert, where were you born?
Glasgow, Scotland.
How did we get that
so we
wrong?
got it so wrong.
That's
I'm sorry, but that was
embarrassing.
so Irish.
Is that offensive to him?
You know what? I think Scottish and Irish get annoyed at English people for mixing up the accent. and we've
You're
done
right.
that.
Oh, we've just done.
I'm
done
so
it.
sorry.
You guys are so right, because one of my favorite vacations my wife and I took was to Edinburgh.
Yeah.
And that is clearly something they're not fond of having the accent, the dialect confused. Yes.
No, I'm so sorry. We're such idiot English people.
Robert,
So sorry,
Robert,
mate.
can you get past this this comment they made?
I identify as Scottish, so I'm okay with it.
You identify as
Where do you live now, by the way?
I live in Wilmington, Delaware, but I work in Delco.
Okay,
Delco.
How long have you been in the States?
15 years.
15
years. All right, man. Well, thank you for playing along. We appreciate that.
Cheers.
All right,
All right, take care,
All
guys.
right, there you go. Brit or
Well
not a Brit. All right, so
by the way, you guys killed it. You did a great job.
yeah, how did they? Did anybody keep score?
Yes.
Okay.
Somehow Joel ended up winning. 7 to 6.
That's what we said would happen. He's the linguist.
7-6.
Yeah, Joel got one right that Leah got wrong.
And then we had how many on there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We had 11, so that's not bad.
Yeah.
That's damn good.
Absolutely. It's a difficult thing, especially over a phone.
Yeah. There were a couple of them that where I was like, yeah. Yep. You could tell right away, just trying a little bit too hard.
When Joel and Leah started laughing
Yeah, yeah.
immediately on something, I mean, they were good signs.
I have a sixth sense. I see dead people. No, that's Japanese.
Now, to put you guys on the spot, do you have any American accent that you try to pull off?
No, we can only do generic Valley Girl, can't
Generic, yeah.
Okay.
Valley Girl.
do
Try,
that.
give it a shot.
we? Okay, so give us something to say and then.
That's the hard part is coming up with
okay.
something.
We can just
Tell us what you're doing today.
Okay, so today we are going to Preston and Steve, and then after that we are gonna try a Philly cheesesteak.
Well done.
She even got the
Well
vocal
done.
fry in there.
Like slightly confused.
Right.
Kardashian,
Vocal
yeah,
fry
Kardashian.
is very
Little
Yeah.
Kardashian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, there was a little Kardashian in there. How
Oh
about-
yeah. Oh, that's all our references, isn't it? Really. We
Yeah.
don't get a lot of.
Sadly.
Sadly.
How about you, Joel? What else are you doing today?
We might go to the Rocky Steps.
Yeah.
And to the penitentiary.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna have a good time, you know.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Antiseptic.
Yeah.
By the way, Eastern State Penitentiary, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That
That's
is
what we're
very
thinking
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, it was roundly condemned by Charles Dickens. So when for driving prisoners stone cold mad.
That's exactly what it did.
Yeah.
Yes. So you guys are in town for the next few days, and
yeah.
how quickly will the videos you make end up being put up, or do you need to spend time editing, or are you going to put them up as you go along?
So the first Philly videos will probably be out this week.
Okay.
Maybe next week. So yeah, if anyone's just wanting to jump on our channel and have a little watch of us,
Yeah.
You guys
then
are
you can.
so much fun, and I encourage people who haven't checked you guys out to check it out. It's just very likable, and it's a great distraction and diversion, and it's
Yeah.
Thank
wonderful.
you.
And so I was telling these guys off air that we're supposed to get a bunch of snow on Friday into Saturday, and they really should. If you have the right gear, try and go sledding down the Art Museum steps. It is a real thing that really happens
Yeah.
when it snows out.
It's
Would
worth,
definitely give that a
it's
go.
worth getting the gear for, isn't it?
All the gear, no
They'll
idea.
set you up.
Yeah.
And give out to your social media and YouTube channel and all that stuff.
Yeah, sure. We are at Joel and Leah, JoelAndLia, on everything.
Okay.
So you can find us that way.
Perfect.
All right, excellent. Well, thank you guys for coming by.
Thanks for having us.
It's great to
That was
see
fun.
you,
Thank
and
you so
hopefully,
much.
hopefully we'll be over there again.
Yeah,
sometime.
see you in London,
Definitely.
guys.
Come on
Yeah,
over.
absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Excellent. All right, Joel and Leah, let's hear it for them, guys. With that, we are going to take a break. We will come back in just a moment, so make sure that you hang close, my friend. The band Coheed and Cambria will be at the Leah Core Center on July 27th. Tickets are going to go on sale tomorrow at 10 a.m. at coheedandcambria.com. They are promoting their highly anticipated new record, which is Vaxis 2, A Window of the Waking Mind, and spiraling somewhere in the United States as we speak on a bus, headed out on tour. He is joining us live. Please welcome the singer of the band, the man behind the music, Mr. Claudio Sanchez. This morning. Claudio, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
It's our pleasure, man. Listen, I'm going to be straight up with you from the very get-go because we're excited about having this interview, and I just have the smallest amount of knowledge of Coheed and Cambria. I've been aware of you guys for a long time. I only know a few songs, and I was like, man, do I kind of, BS this guy and just pretend like I know all of his music and do the interview that way? But then I thought about it. I'm like, you know what? You've got such diehard fans. The fans know about your music. They're going to go to your show. But how about the people that might not be that familiar with? And let's bring some new people on board this. And so I want to be one of those people. And the reason I know I'm going to be one of those people is I had the same type of sensation of just checking out and diving into your catalog in the last couple of days that I had when I first, somebody turned me on to Rush. Okay, so I'm a prog guy, and Rush is my band. And when somebody played 2112 for me the first time, that was my first dive into conceptual music. And I was like Pinto in Animal House when he finds out that there's an atom on your fingernail could be a tiny little universe. I was just like, I can't handle this. I was blown away. So I'm really open to diving deep into the world of Coheed and Cambria because it's a very dense universe. There's a lot of material there. And I bet you love hearing about people coming on board and really experiencing the music,
Yeah, well, that's actually the big conversation we had when making Vaxis 2 with our A&R Johnny Minardi. Is just like, Coheed and Cambria has been a band now like 20 years. And it's like, well, what does that look like to somebody coming on board? And it's not that different from, say, like somebody getting introduced to maybe the Star Wars universe and then realizing there's this whole mythology, this whole catalog of records behind them that's vast, and so yeah, I mean it's definitely a conversation that I love sort of having, is like, this is way more than just music. It's a culture, and all because I started it as a kid because I was shy. I just had a hard time singing about myself, and I was afraid to let people know about me. So I created a concept to hide behind.
And for those who don't know, Claudio, is that the band's work, now listen, there are concept albums. There's The Wall, and there's 2112, and there's Dark Side of the Moon, and these albums that have this entire, project that's just filled with this story, and it's amazing. But the band's entire work, from what I understand, is all a conceptual piece. Is that a correct assumption or a correct characterization?
Yeah. Yep, with the exception of one record, which was called The Color Before the Sun, but everything else is part of a mythology I constructed, a science fiction epic called The Amory Wars, where Coheed and Cambria... Yeah, where Coheed and Cambria are essentially, in the first 5 stories, act as kind of the Adam and Eves. They sort of set the whole mythology off. And then everything else is really about their sons coming into manhood, like an adolescent growing into a man and understanding like his place within this universe that he essentially has control over. And then after that, we kind of fall into this new story arc that we're working on called Vaxis. And that, when I look at the Vaxis story arc and I think about myself in there, whereas like those original Coheed records, I see myself as the adolescent and I'm growing up. Whereas in the Vaxis story arc, I see myself as the father, and that's really kind of the trajectory there. Those are the themes there, is how a father deals with, the you know, a man kind of coming into his own
Right.
as a dad, basically.
I love this notion. I would have been, and I am now going to, because I just as Preston said, we're both fans of this kind of approach to music. It's few and far between these days, and it used to be the norm. And you would just get there and you would immerse, and you would look at album art, and you would be, what's the message? And you talk about album art. You've got the comic series. I mean, you've got all of this stuff that's dovetailing. Preston, at 16 or 17, if you found this band, you'd be outside the tour bus.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, bugging the crowd. I mean, because honestly, I heard so many people that I respected and respect, Claudio, the band's name would always come up, and I'm like, man, well, I love this stuff. And so circuitously, I would experience and go, yeah, that's good. Not understanding, I mean, what is a very rare situation where it's not just simply a thematic concept album, it's a concept band. That is awesome. That's a mind blower. Did you start to fall into it just through the growth of the band, or was that the modus operandi from day one?
You know, so when I started writing material, you know, I think I was about, you know, I was a teenager. Right. And I became the singer of this band. And when I was writing the material for it, before it was Coheed and Cambria, I started to realize.
Did he leave?
No, he's not.
No, he's right there.
That's Casey calling Bill's phone once again.
Preston told me to.
I didn't say that. I said go ahead and do it. Yeah. It's your idea. All right, let's do the bizarre file. Here we go.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
All right, this morning it is brought to you by Connecticut School of Broadcasting. This year, invest in yourself and your future at CSB Media Arts Center in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Broadcast media training in months, not years. So schedule yours today, your tour. Go to gocsb.com. Visit gocsb.com, and they'll tell you how to do reads like that properly, like I didn't.
Well, really, the first lesson is turn your ringer off when you
that
enter
might
the
be
studio. Yeah,
one of the first ones. All right, we're going to start with a pretty disturbing story here. A mother and son duo are accused of running a brothel out of a South Florida home. With one sex worker alleging that she was paid by how many condoms were used by the end of her shift.
Well, you know, a lot of times a mother will stick a kid in front of the TV. At least they were doing something together.
The relatives were caught after investigators began probing a complaint that a 15-year-old girl, or that 15-year-old girls were being offered to men for sex. So it's really depraved. Under surveillance and by developing fake Johns, authorities said detectives learned that 28-year-old son, Glenn Jan Zuniga, his last name is Latin, actually. There's more to that name. And 52-year-old mother, Amparo Latin Barrias, were allegedly running the brothel. The mother was reportedly in charge of working the door and accepting cash payments. An arrest affidavit reportedly states that Johns would come in and fork over $50 before they were handed a card. Next, they would choose a commercial sex worker and go into a room where they had to hand over the card and engage in the sex act. Each act encountered had a 15-minute time limit. And a sex worker that was found by detectives said that she had to work 3 days a week in which she was paid $25 for every customer. And she reportedly said she averaged between 8 and 10 customers each day.
Wow.
And would only get paid by the number of used condoms at the end of her shift. Wow. So thank God the cops got these.
That's my mom.
Mother-son combo.
Oh, gross.
Both face charges of making money from prostitution and maintaining a house of prostitution.
Their mugshots, too. The son is like kind of smiling and the mom is like smirking.
Hey, Ma, look at that camera.
All right, something lighter. An Ohio man was arrested for leaving Walmart with a cart full of meat without paying. And investigators say he filled a suitcase with meat when the shopping cart stopped rolling. So I don't know if he took the suitcase from the Walmart as well, but he filled up a suitcase with meat.
Well, sometimes you run out of room.
The man said he took the meat in order to sell it to restaurants at a discount.
Yeah.
He did not specify which venues he sold his wares to.
This is my business. I steal from your inventory and I sell it to other restaurants.
By the way, he's 62 years old. This is the 70th time that he's been arrested.
Wow.
70th time. All right, we're going to go from messed up to nicer
brothels.
Stores. We're going to go back and forth. So a California mother of 4 known as the Dancing Hiking Queen posted heartbreaking videos of herself moments before she slid hundreds of feet to her death on an icy slope. Crystal Paula Gonzalez Landras was reportedly hiking on the icy Baldy Bowl of Mount Baldy when she slid an estimated 500 to 700 feet on Sunday. Sheriff's Department received a call about an emergency signal from a GPS device after the incident. The Sheriff's Patrol chopper responded to the scene, and they hoisted the woman, but she succumbed to her injuries before she could be flown to the hospital.
So she had one of those personal GPS devices?
I don't know. I guess so, yeah.
because I got one for my wife was in a rural part. She was on a trip in Africa, and I got her one that would, if there was any sort of trauma or anything, it would have indicated where she was.
Steve, in this news report that I have in front of me, it says that there was an SOS message from a Garmin InReach device.
That's what I had.
I had that as well, yeah.
She posted a video of herself moments before she slid to her death. That's terrible. She's the second person to have died on Mount Baldy, by the way.
Stay off Mount Baldy.
A hero Brit saved his family and hundreds of swimmers when he spied a 20-foot shark with his drone.
Yeah.
David Alfonso was filming wildlife and spotted the beast's fin while his wife Christy and their 2-year-old son Sonny played in the water's edge. She FaceTimed Christy to get to safety, and she alerted beachgoers. David then used his drone to guide lifeguards on a jet ski to the beast. He's
pretty amazing.
Essentially just followed the drone.
Everyone was probably annoyed by that friggin' thing, but it saved lives.
They confirmed that it was a great white and called in a helicopter. It sounded a shark alarm, and lifeguards had shut the beach down for hours. David said, good job. I had my drone up there. There must have been up to thousands of people on the beach, and I saw these sharks, possibly great white or bronze whaler, just 10 feet from swimmers and 6 feet from the shore.
So I make it a rule of thumb to never swim at any beach where they have shark alarms.
The outline was unmistakable. He said it looked so menacing, and I couldn't leave my wife and son in the water or anyone else. I fly with an iPad, and I showed the lifeguard the screen. Apparently, the shark was huge up close. And if it was in the shallows, it was looking for prey, they said. So he was able to warn them. It's crazy looking at the video footage of this thing. All right, this is really weird. A glowing obituary for a Utah man who allegedly killed his entire family in a murder-suicide plot said that he, quote, the obituary said, quote, he made it a point to spend quality time with each and every one of his children.
Yeah. Wow. You can't murder them all together.
And this is an online fundraiser, bizarrely replaces him with an image of Jesus in a family photo.
Oh, gee.
Yeah.
Doesn't anyone proofread?
Police believe Michael Haight gunned down his wife, Tasha, their 3 daughters who were 17, 12, and 7, and 2 sons who were 7 and 4. 2 weeks after she had filed for divorce.
Correction. The photograph was of Jesus.
Also killed in the massacre was his mother-in-law, Gail. But an obit published in the Spectrum did not mention the killings and painted an angelic picture of the shooter, saying that he excelled at everything he did and graduating from high school in 1998 as a sterling scholar in business. He achieved the rank of Eagle Scout, of course, the post said.
Oh, wow.
And it also said that the dad lived a life of service, whether it was serving in the church or in the community. He was willing to help with whatever was needed. Meanwhile, a GoFundMe account was set up by the family, bizarrely, and it replaced Haight with Jesus in a family photo. The fundraiser, which doesn't mention him, had raised almost $95,000 by Monday. So that is very weird.
So he murdered 7 people and then killed himself. This is the first I'm hearing of this story.
Yeah, I saw this a couple weeks ago.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, wow. It was. I think it took the first week of January. But
I remember being caught by how much the guy looked like Jesus.
It was over. It was over a weekend.
Yeah.
So, all right, and then finally, one last story. Vinny Dashkowitz of Connecticut found a black bear hibernating peacefully under the deck of his house.
Yeah.
The family has decided to leave the bear.
Is this timber tech?
Who will hibernate until the weather turns warm.
He's adorable under there, by the way.
They've named him Marty and reported that he's massive, but they said, yeah, he's super chill because he's hibernating.
Yeah.
Follow the adventures of Marty Bernard on TikTok and Instagram. His bio reads, currently, I am hibernating until I'm ready for a hot bear summer.
I enjoyed eating this family's pets.
Marty will likely vacate by early April, but they're just keeping an eye on him under the porch.
They'll walk out there and he's underneath. They keep, there's like a live cam and stuff. It's crazy.
All right, there you go. That's what I have in the bizarre file for you. All right, we got another break to take. We'll come back in just a moment, and we'll see if you've been paying attention. Lesson question. Oh, Kathy, I need to call her for the secret text word. Who's it going to be?
7.
All right, call us 7.
Good number.
215-263-WMMR. We'll be right back.
Preston and Steve.
On 93.3 WMMR.
Putting my heart on my sleeve. But though they were, so I just didn't want anybody to go, oh, I know that person now because of the music, So I started to construct this concept. So I took a trip to Paris, France in 1998. And there's when I started to construct the ideas of Coheed and Cambria, the characters, some of the first songs on the first record. Just because I hadn't been anywhere. I'm a New York kid. The furthest I had been was New Jersey. And now I'm in Paris, and it was so wonderful. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I should just really adopt this as a songwriter. Of course, I'm a teenager. I'm not thinking that strategically, but that's just what I thought. I was like, you know what? I'm shy. Let's just put this out there with a curtain, and that's what I did. And then, when the band got signed in 2001 to Equal Vision, an indie up in New York, they didn't like the name of the band we had at the time. And so Coheed and Cambria happened to be this project I was working on the side, and the band really liked it. And so with that, we adopted the name, and I took the concept with me, and it's just kind of been I guess from day one when the signing, I guess you could say it's always been the thing.
That's great.
All right, so you had mentioned entering this universe for the first time, and you had sort of drawn the parallel between your music and, let's say, the Star Wars universe. So for us, the Star Wars universe started with Episode 4. So if we were talking to somebody who had never seen a movie before, we might start with Episode 4, and other people might say, no, you got to start with Episode 1, and then other people might say, no, you need to start with Rogue One or whatever. So what I want to ask you, 20 years later, and I've done this with other bands where I discovered a band, 4 records in. I'm like, okay, well, where do I start? Do I start with the newest stuff, or do I go back to the beginning? So for you, for anybody who just heard Shoulders for the first time, and that is their introduction to the band, do you recommend starting there, or do you recommend going back to 2002 to the Second Stage Turbine Blade?
I think it's totally subjective. I mean, this answer changes all the time. It all depends on timing, right? Like if we were to finish, say, the Bax's story, which is 3 more records, my answer to this question would be different. I would say, I'm really proud of Bax's 2. I think Bax's 2 really kind of stands off on its own. I also really love the idea of coming into something late and then discovering the fact that there's all this other stuff to consume. But if I had to say, Second Stage Turbine Blade is basically the second part of the Amory Wars. That is the second part in this huge mythology that's probably going to ultimately be 12 parts. But that's the second part. The origin story of those characters is in a record called Year of the Black Rainbow. So technically that's the first. Here's the thing. So sorry, here's where my crazy gets into play.
All right, it's all good.
Every record has a numeric value. So Year of the Black Rainbow, year being singular, Second Stage Turbine Blade, second being 2, In Keeping Secrets of Silent Earth 3 is the third part, Good Apollo 4.
Oh my.
So every record has its numeric value within the story. The Bax's story arc, however, that's sort of more cryptic. The V for Baxis stands for the Roman numeral 5, and the axis in which all of the Amory Wars is now going to revolve. So it's a little heady.
No. This is absolutely, and I love it because I'm looking at a color code that explains a song can be exclusive, like Red, for example. A song can sometimes be exclusively from the point view of a character in the real. I mean, there's a breakdown of tone of who is speaking based on a color code. Your fan base is obviously very much into the minutia. We are as well for so many things that are pop culture, and obviously you're a science fiction fan. So what has rocked your? I got to assume you're a Dune fan, correct?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, yes. I love all versions of Dune. I love the Frank Herbert book. I actually liked the David Lynch movie. I mean, when I saw that, I was a child.
So did
there
Steve
was
and I.
Yeah,
I had no.
We're fans as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I really love the new one. So yes, I'm definitely a fan of Dune. Definitely a fan of Star Wars. I also really like some I liked Krull. Are you guys familiar?
Krull,
with the movie
of course,
Krull?
Krull. It's cheesy goodness.
Oh my
God! That sort of star, that
claw
weapon,
star that he would throw.
It was awesome. Yeah.
The glaive.
The glaive.
Yeah, the glaive.
Dude, I wanted one of those so bad. Yeah, I totally. Yeah.
I was like, right, but so that was like the thing, right? So when I was a kid, you'd sit watching HBO in hopes that Star Wars would come on, and HBO would give you give you Krull, they'd give you Ice Pirates. Do you guys remember Ice
with
Pirates?
with Robert Urich. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So those are sort of those are like the science fiction movies that I got kind of brought up on. Comic books, obviously. Anything sort of pop culture, like Saturday morning cartoons, He-Man, G.I. Joe. I was I thought Tron. I think the era that I grew up in. I mean, I'm pre-adolescence. I'm in the '80s, so it's very character driven. People are trying to sell toys essentially, and so characters are very defined, even in the most cheesy way. When you think of G.I. Joe, you got Shipwreck, who's the sailor, or so I think I was kind of lucky in that respect because I don't know that all that stuff really influenced me.
Oh, we talk about
hard.
this. Yeah, we talk about this, especially from that period. We were just talking about the movie Alien Nation. Do you remember that with the?
Yep, absolutely.
Right. All of those were very high concept, very easily consumable science fiction.
Mm-hmm.
But it's funny because that gives us a fixed point at what was your impetus for this, and it all makes sense. But that's very cool. So besides the comic book and the music, since everything obviously has a very theatrical aspect to it, would you take a foray into films? Is this something that has actually happened and we're unaware of, that you've announced any plans for films? Because I think your vision would be perfect for this.
We've attempted it, but on a very grassroots sort of small level, not in a very serious way. No one's really come to approach us essentially. Okay. At one point, Mark Wahlberg tried to get involved, his company Leverage, but it wasn't really. I mean, I think it was the wrong time because now I got to tell you, I get asked this question way more than I've ever. And I think it has a lot to do with maybe the Vaxxis story arc, because a lot of the accompanying art, the story is very photographic. It's very photorealistic, and it's easier to see, I think, than it ever has been.
Right.
So I get asked it a lot. So I have a feeling it might happen. Nothing right now, but it just feels like the wave is pushing in that direction.
All right, so Claudio, to that end, in 1998, when you're writing in Paris, essentially you're creating this story arc, but the constant from 1998 until right now is the music, right? The music sort of is at the base of a lot of this stuff, and a lot of what your career has become. However, in 2022, you're sitting on a tour bus and you're Zooming with us, and we're in completely different states. So obviously, and in many ways, the technology over that amount of time has changed vastly, which allows you to tell the story in many different ways. Which part of the technology advancements that we've had over the last 2 decades is most appealing for Coheed and Cambria? Which part of it is just kind of a distraction? What have you guys really embraced, and you're like, oh my God, this is a really great way for us to tell the story in a way that we really want to?
I mean, I always want to see it kind of get played out in a live action, just in the simplest form, whether it be television or movie. But there's so many other things now. We have VR, we have metaverses, we have all sorts of stuff. And I think there's a lot of source material for us to draw from, and again, that was never really my approach. It was really just to make, comic books, essentially, just to tell these stories in a different way, watch them get up off the record and come to life. And now it's yeah, sure, movies and television, but there's so many other places to stretch.
Yeah.
So it's really hard for me to wrap all of them. But, at this stage, I mean, I'd like to do everything. I mean, I think these characters are, I think the characters are really when I see our fans and I see them resonate with certain characters, that's so insane to me, because I never anticipated that. I never anticipated anybody to see themselves connect with a character. That was just not on the top of my head. And like, when you see that fans have like a favorite, like you have Ambelina on their arm, or, Willem Ryan, and, it's just like, wow, that's like me resonating with like Freddy Krueger or Darth Vader. It's so cool.
No, absolutely.
I want to talk about the fandom for a second here, and I'm going to lead this part by saying that we got a tweet from a fellow musician, Claudio. It is a Peanut from 311, and he's listening right now. So he tweeted at us. So I wanted to give a shout out to Peanut, who's listening this morning. But you mentioned the fandom, and I'm going to give you an example. And this is a killing two birds with one stone, because I want to thank this listener. This morning I came in and there was a box sitting over here in the studio, and I'm like, well, what the hell's that? And I open it up, and first of all, it is a 4-pack of the Rush beer. All right, that was sent to me. All right, and it came with a letter. It says, Preston, a beer to share with a fellow Rush fan. These are not for export in the USA, so I coordinated a delivery from Henderson Brewing Company in Toronto to an associate's friend in Ontario. It was about 24 minutes after 10 o'clock, and it's a Wednesday morning. One of the things we like to do on Wednesday is give some free stuff away via the secret text word, and we have a winner on the line if they can tell us what the word is. So we're looking for caller number 7. That happens to be Dan, and we talk to Dan now. Good morning, Dan. Oh, God. Dan with a hearty yoo-hoo. Dan, what is our word, our secret text word, bud? Strum. Hey. Yes. Yeah, hang on, Dan. You win, bud, and we are going to give you a pair of tickets to see Sarah Silverman's Grow Some Lips tour. By the way, I love that name. That is hilarious. Grow Some Lips. Why don't you? Coming to Ocean Casino Resort in Atlantic City on February 4th. And tickets and information are available at the oceanac.com, or the website, oceanac.com. I would also like to congratulate our other winner, Lorraine Matissa. And Lorraine is from Hamilton, New Jersey, so we will give you those tickets as well. Congratulations to you. Something else to give away now, though. We have a 4-pack of tickets to the Philadelphia Wings game, which is going to be this Saturday. They're playing the Toronto Rock, and it will be at the Wells Fargo Center. And the question we will go with this morning is, who was the officiant at Kanye West's secret wedding, or his recent wedding?
Yeah.
Man, this is a quick one. I don't know if we'll get an answer for this or not.
Dude, maybe.
Here
Notes,
you go. It was a waiter at what restaurant?
There you go.
Let's go with that.
Yeah. Right.
A waiter at which restaurant was the officiant at Kanye's recent wedding? If you heard that and you know, 215-263 WMMR from early this morning, the 6 o'clock hour. You got a shot at winning, so let's get you on board. And in the meantime, we're going to do this.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
All right, we'll get the story. Steve, what's up this morning?
Well, 27-year-old international tennis sensation Nick Kyrgios is out of the Australian Open after what was described as a disgusting goo was drained from an injured knee. Amazingly, upon later inspection, that goo turned out to be Miracle Whip.
Whoa.
Woo. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star 54-year-old Kylie Richards responding to claims that Ozempic is responsible for her stunning new bikini body. Richards calls the suggestion ridiculous, saying she finally took control of her eating and now eats nothing but Ozempic. And finally, Oasis Noel Gallagher and his wife Sarah McDonald are divorcing after 12 years of marriage and 22 years as a couple. Sarah says she finally had enough of Noel's constant, perky, peppy optimism. And that's your Hollywood Trash.
All right, we will see if we can get an answer to our lesson question today. And the question is, who was the officiant at Kanye's recent wedding? Where did that efficient work? All right, that's the question we have. 215-263 WMMR. Oh, we're going to go to Shauna and see if we can. I was hoping. I was hoping you were going to do that, Casey. All right, Shauna, are you there?
Yes.
All right, Shauna, where did this person work that was the officiant at Kanye's wedding, please?
The waiter at Fuddruckers.
Fuddruckers. Yes. That's right, Shauna. Hang on the line. We're going to get your information. And Shauna Genie. We are going to give you tickets, 4-pack of tickets for the Philadelphia Wings game versus the Toronto Rock this Saturday.
Rock?
Yeah. January 21st at the Wells Fargo Center. Be there for 215 night when the Wings celebrate all things Philly, and you can score great deals for your whole family. Listen to this, $2 pretzels, $1 dogs, and $5 beers. Get your tickets at wingslax.com. All right, music news.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
All right, got a couple of things to pass along to you. We'll start with this. Axl Rose paid tribute to the late Lisa Marie Presley, sharing his memories of his friend, People.com.
I did not know they were friends.
Apparently, they were pretty close, too. He said in the exclusive interview, I will miss my friend Lisa. Her passing, just as her son's or as a kid, her father's, it doesn't seem real. Lisa loved her family, all her children. My heart goes out to them. Rose, who stayed in close touch with Lisa Marie after the 2020 suicide of her 27-year-old son, Benjamin, added her son's passing was shocking, tragic, and devastating. It was something that, at a point, you obviously didn't want to bring up, but awkwardly would in an effort to let her know that you cared and were thinking about her, about them, and to be of any comfort one could, which she appreciated. He said, I tried to let her know of the constant thinking about her and them and wanting the best for her. Axl said, I wanted her to be happy. I felt to feel good about things, at least as much as one could under the circumstances. And really, with the closeness of their relationship, one could hope, but truthfully, it didn't seem, at least without some real time passing, a reasonable reality. What comes after life, who knows? But I'd like to think that they're together, her and Ben, with her father and Ben's grandfather in some way, and Lisa and the most important men in her life are happy together. Rose revealed that he was able to talk in depth about Elvis Presley with Lisa Marie. He said, I was fortunate enough to hear about her father and her experiences and memories with him firsthand. She came to shows. We hung out backstage. It was always great to see her, and she was always fun and super supportive. He went on to say that she took great pride in the way her father's story was told in Baz Luhrmann's award-winning Elvis biopic, recalling over the past few months, we spoke a lot about the Elvis movie, which she was very proud of, and especially that it touched on her father's love since early childhood of black gospel and later the blues. And she was very nervous at first how the public would react to the film because it was so important to her to do right by her father. So did not know that they had that connection.
Yeah, Austin Butler apparently was, had grown very tight with her as well, and he was devastated.
Mark Tremonti says that he is sure that a Creed reunion will happen at some point. During a recent interview, he said there's always talks, people running ideas back and forth, but we don't know as of yet because we're so deep in with this Alter Bridge record that it's tough to kind of get sidetracked right now. He said, I'm sure that something will happen at some point. Creed was such a popular band back in the day, it would be a shame to not do something with it, and I know that there's still tons of fans out there that would appreciate it. So it's just a matter of timing, he said. Korn is celebrating the 25th anniversary of their 5-time multi-platinum album, Follow the Leader, by releasing a makeup palette inspired by the album's tracks.
Now I can look like Korn.
And
a
it
lot
just
of
so
people
happens
are doing this.
it's Jonathan Davis's birthday today.
I tear up every time I hear that.
According to a press release, this palette consists of 8 amazing tracks of various pigmented textures. Our Korn X Hip Follow the Leader collection is vegan, free of harmful ingredients.
So you can eat it.
Certified cruelty-free and curated to embrace all skin tones. So, Kathy, this is something that celebrities are doing?
Well, who else did it? We talked about it.
Okay.
Was it? I don't know. Was it Rolling Stones or
The rock artist, possibly?
Who?
Yeah.
Machine Gun Kelly.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
He did,
I
like,
think I remember
nail
that.
polish.
Nail polish, yeah.
Should we do our...
Ozzy did something too.
Yeah, I should do nail polish.
Let's do a cosmetics palette.
Kathy, you and I should do nail polish. We should collab.
Yeah.
Let's collab.
All right.
And we'll call it Kathy.
Kathy.
I love it.
Yeah, so you're right, Kathy.
Kathy.
I wear nothing but Kathy.
Or I wear nothing at all.
How would you even spell that? Because it would be spelled Kathy.
Well, we'd have to come up with
Yeah.
a different way.
Yeah.
2 T's.
Oh, I'm sorry. Nick.
C-A-Y?
I was going to say Kaethy.
Kathy.
Kathy.
Yeah.
Kathy.
And Thee.
Yeah, but then my name wouldn't be in there at all. It would just be a bastardization spelling of Kathy.
How about
Yeah, perfect.
Kathy by Casey?
How about Cassie?
You could do Cassie. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But
What
that's
about-
just another girl's name.
Yeah, no.
Kathy
she
by
sucks.
Casey or Casey by
It's
Kathy?
never going to happen.
It's
anyway,
not.
So, yeah.
How about,
I don't know.
How about Nick McElwain by Casey and Kathy?
I like it.
Yeah.
Let's go with this.
I think you're on to something here.
Oh. All right, one last story. Tony King, one of rock's most important behind-the-scenes figures of the last century, is going to finally publish his memoirs on January 31st titled Tastemaker. In the early 1960s, King started off at Decca Records before moving on to work for manager Andrew Loog Oldham at the Rolling Stones offices. He went on to become the U.S. manager of the Beatles' Apple Records, and later the director of promotions for RCA and an executive for Elton John's Rocket Records. And he remains close confidant of both Elton and Mick Jagger, and was among Freddie Mercury's best friends. So,
Wow.
dude's got stories. During a chat with The Guardian to promote his new memoir, he shed light on his close friend John Lennon's personality. He said, I knew him in the 1960s, and he could be very cutting. I was intimidated by him. I went to L.A. in the 1970s expecting this sharp-tongued Liverpudlian, and instead I got this really soft, vulnerable man, and I couldn't believe it.
Was it the May Pang years?
Probably. Yeah, if he was in L.A.
Right?
Yeah, yep. Tony King remained among Freddie Mercury's very small inner circle throughout his 1991, in 1991 and around when he died. And he said he was so brave, shopping until the end, buying up paintings in Christie's auctions. He said, I used to lie on the bed next to him and hold his hand, which was stone cold like a bone. And they'd bring in paintings that he'd bought, and he'd prop them up at the end of his bed for him to look at. And I said, Fred, why are you doing this? And he said, what else have I got to do? He said, I can't go out. I can't leave the bed, but at least I can go shopping.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And he said he had this wonderful, indomitable spirit about him. So this could be a really cool book.
Sure.
A lot of interesting stories from some very interesting characters. And there you go. That's the last item up for bids, and the price is right. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back in a moment. We will wrap up today's program. Letter of the day for the Word of the Week prize, which is a really great prize this week. And we'll turn it over to Pierre. Hang out. We'll be back in a moment.
Preston and Steve on 93.3.
Mother's house.
Oh, my God.
A work associate drove from Michigan to Ohio. From Ohio, it was driven to Harrisburg, where I picked it up, and I drove it home to Langhorne, PA, and I now share a few with you. That is from Dean Gutierrez, an
cool.
MMR listener. And so the reason I bring this up, A, I wanted to thank Dean, and second of all, in the world of progressive rock, there is a connection with the fans that I think is unique to itself. And because of conceptual works like you guys do, Claudio, there's further discussion about the music other than, I really like that song. Man, that rhythm's great. Or this guitar part's really awesome. You start talking about the subtext of the characters and the stories and all that stuff. And it just makes for a really special fan base. And I wanted to get, your impressions on that.
Yes, we are so fortunate. I mean, our fan base is just amazing that they get into all of those sorts of things. Like last fall, we did a cruise that sold out, and everyone was super respectful. It was just, it's more of a family. We see the same faces a lot of the time. We've created relationships with our fans. It's something that, again, I just never thought I could only have dreamed of.
Right.
And it's like, it's like happening.
You know, I wonder.
We're lucky in it.
I wonder, Claudia, how much of that connects to, and you come from a point of being shy, and and I did stand up comedy. I'm doing this now, but initially I was kind of shy, and I think there's something. I think that draws a certain. You don't want to make blanket statements. It's for everybody, obviously, if you enjoy. But I think you're probably connecting in a way because that's well known about you and your impetus for starting all this. That the people who don't feel that there's something quite for them, you're providing that. I mean, on a basic level, we can sense your joy over being able to do that. Would that be your greatest accomplishment, you believe, touching people who maybe up to now haven't found that thing that resonates for them?
I think so, absolutely. I mean, it's also like, it also provides something for me. Like, again, going and being shy, it's like it's hard for me to walk into a room of people I don't know and be a personality. I tend to kind of cower off, and that's the whole idea of being, the Coheed line of one among the fence. I'm the one, at the dance, like I'm the wallflower. It's just not for me to be a loud personality, and being on stage allows me to do that, and it allows me to be around people with like-minded thing. And sure, maybe it's something that I created that everyone's into, but it allows me to like kind of be open. It's a starting place for a conversation and friendship. So yeah, maybe that is I created friends.
You did. You clearly did.
If you're just tuning in, it's Claudio Sanchez, who's with the Coheed and Cambria, and they're going to be in town in July. Tickets go on sale over the show at the Leah Chorus Center tomorrow at 10 a.m. We played the song Shoulders as we were leading into the interview. You guys have a new song called The Liars Club. I saw the video, really cool animation. And like I said at the top, Claudio, not being aware of the full body of work of Coheed and Cambria, Liars Club seems like it has a different tone to it from the other songs that I've kind of skimmed through in your catalog. Dare I say, a little poppier. I mean, I'm trying to think of a better term, but what's the story behind the song and the sound of it all?
Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of this material was written pre-pandemic, through the pandemic, and I was just kind of open to all ideas. I figured, here's an opportunity for me to flex. Even Shoulders feels like a very new version. I mean, when that song was written, it was, primarily because, our A&R had threw this idea at me. I was up for the challenge. I created it. I put it aside. It wasn't going to happen, and then I brought it to my co-producer, Zach Cervini, and he was like, wow, this is a vibe that's not on the record. We should work with this. And that became a song. And kind of the same thing for Liars Club, although Liars Club I think was a little more immediate, because I knew that was, I thought that was a theme that I really wanted to express on the record. Like, who doesn't want to, like embrace the lie sometimes, when reality just isn't, the way you see it. Oh, yeah.
No. I was just wondering as you were talking and talking about that in Preston's question, and you mentioned Star Wars earlier. We have obviously we know you're a fan. I think of George Lucas, who had the original vision, and perhaps tries to go in different ways. And he got eaten alive by his own fan base. Do you feel you get the latitude from your fan base to go out on these sort of creative ventures that might depart slightly from your sound?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, because it's not something that's foreign from what we've done. I mean, it's definitely we're definitely stretching with this new record more so than we have in the past. But we've also laid the groundwork in past records to do things like this. Okay. Like, if you guys fall into the discography at all, you find songs like Evagria or Number City. These are all songs that really kind of stretch outside of like what the comfort nucleus of what Coheed and Cambria does. So we're always kind of breaking out of that a bit. But we do it more so with this record. And I think it's really more appropriate because of the theme of the album, because the mind is opening up for this one character, and we're starting to realize that it experiences infinite. Like all infinite outcomes, this one character of Vaxis is like, consumed with, like, instead of seeing the world as we see it, he sees it as maybe the static of a television, because he can see every outcome at one moment.
Sounds like Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah.
Right. But almost so much more that he physically can't interact with any of them, if that makes any sense, into like a catatonic state, because it's so consuming, so overwhelming. And that's why I think, it made sense conceptually to really kind of step outside of, like I said, the nucleus of what we do and kind of stretch. Like, you'll hear songs like Disappearing Act, which really kind of stretches the window of the waking mind. There's all sorts of stuff on this record. I'm really, really proud of it. And Liars Club, I thought, was a really cool, statement to put out there, just to kind of get everyone's feet wet,
I love these concepts. It's really deep and heady stuff, but let's go back just a little bit. Did your old band break up because of an argument over gas money? Is that correct?
No, I don't know what. No, but where's that from? That's like a Quidditch question.
Wikipedia. It was on Wikipedia. Yeah. I'm like, wait a minute.
We're like, what? So we definitely almost broke up because of there were several moments, but to be completely honest, when Coheed first started back in 2002, the attention to the band was so intense. We would play shows and opening for bands, and we would play, and once we were done, the place would empty.
Oh,
it was severe. We had no idea that we had that impact at that time, and so it really got to me as the guy with the hair, the focus point. I didn't realize how much of a magnet I would become, and it kind of scared me, so much so that I broke down. And gas money wasn't never, that might have been who the hell knows? I have no idea. But for real, my mentality was disintegrating.
Wow.
Coming from a person that, again, I am very much an introvert. It was really hard to be to have that so much attention when I grew up in my adolescence with none.
Huh.
So, yeah.
Were you guys friends first or bandmates first, do you think?
Travis and I have been friends since we were 13.
Wow.
I met him through a mutual friend who wanted to start a band. So I guess we were bandmates before we even became friends, if that makes any sense. Before we even met, we were going to be in a band. But Travis is Travis is my brother. I mean, we friggin', it's so wild how insane and in sync we are. And
play for the day. Oh, don't worry. Lots of music to go around.
Ton.
Yep, it's what we do here at MMR. Well, it's what everybody else does. We pretty much talk and do that all morning long.
But we talk about the other people playing lots of music.
That we do.
Yeah.
It's one of the things we do. Absolutely. We have the foremost expert, Mr. Pierre Robert, who will be in shortly to carry you through the rest of your day.
Johnny Bench of music? Fair to say that?
Johnny Bench? Sure. Why not? Here's Johnny. He's making his way.
It's Doc Severinsen and the NBC Orchestra. I'm Ed McMahon. And here's Johnny.
Do you remember who the go-to replacement of Doc Severinsen was?
Tommy
Newsom.
Tommy Newsom.
Yes, well
Tom
done.
Thompson.
Yeah.
And occasionally Tommy Tom Thompson.
From time to time.
Yeah. When Tommy Newsom couldn't make it, Tommy.
From Tom to Tom.
From Tom to Tom.
Beating those Tom-Toms.
Yep.
You formed the Tom-Tom Club.
It was actually Ed Shaughnessy was beating those Tom-Toms.
Yes, the great Ed Shaughnessy.
Now that's a good memory.
Mm-hmm. He was amazing.
Yeah. Wow.
And occasionally Louis Bellson. But anyway, I
digress.
Thank you. How you doing today, man?
It's lovely outside. We
Excellent.
got sun. We got a titch of a wind. But it's good to move you along, to blow you along like a leaf.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
And one needs to be a leaf from time to time.
You do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel very leafy today.
A leaf on a leaf on a branch or a leaf in the breeze?
A leaf in the breeze today,
Yeah.
but not one of those crumpled up ones. One of those ones that's just fallen in the fall and is floating gingerly through things and then landing in other places.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Or is this like a drift away song kind of a day for you?
Ooh.
Every day's a drift away song for
Some
me.
days more in particular.
Yeah.
You know, like a Zephyr song from the Chili Peppers or things along those lines?
Well, I hadn't thought of it, but certainly.
All right.
Do you have one in mind?
Zephyr Song by the Chili Peppers.
Okay. I will play it for you in
All
the
right.
coffee break coming up shortly.
Who did Drift Away? That song.
Why don't we?
Dobie Gray.
Dobie Gray. Yes.
Gray.
Yeah.
And Rod Stewart covered it too.
Jessica comes to mind as well. The Allman Brothers.
Oh,
That's a
God,
drift away song.
That's a good drift away
Oh
song.
my God, that's magnificent. Blue Sky by the Allman Brothers.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh yeah.
well, we could do a whole block of drift away songs.
Right.
We could let's just do the whole show.
You should do that. You should do that one day. Do a Driftway song.
Okay, I
Something
like
that,
it.
You know, and you wouldn't play this, but Summer Breeze would.
I have played
Seals and Croft. Have you?
I have played. I believe I have played Summer Breeze. I played YMCA on
I
Friday.
saw the video.
So Bill having a heart attack.
You and Bill.
Poor Bill. Raised his.
Oh, it's Dobie Gray, yeah.
Yeah, Dobie.
And Uncle Cracker had a second run hit at that too,
Really?
which you hear from time to time. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's been covered a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know if Dobie wrote it or not, but he has the original hit with it. He probably did write it, but yeah.
The old original video of him singing this is him standing, and I haven't seen it in so long, but they like superimpose a pot leaf.
Oh, really?
And he's like singing to the weed.
Really?
Yeah.
You know who would do a great job with this song? Kyle McCarty.
Yes, he
would.
would.
He would crush this song.
I bet he has done this song before.
Madonna, too, maybe.
Madonna? Oh, yeah, we're looking at the video of Dobie Gray singing it. And yeah, they superimpose, watch this. They superimpose like a marijuana leaf or something like that. Are those buds? No, those are plants.
Those are like orange.
Maybe you were just
California
high when you were
poppies.
watching it. Preston.
No.
Yeah, talk about drifting away.
Is that Pop
Tommy
behind him?
Thompson was on the Tom Tom Club.
Maybe that's what it was.
It does look like pot leaves behind him. I'm
so.
sure it wasn't, though.
Yeah, probably.
Because he's wearing that 70s open collar, wide collar shirt, like halfway down your chest that's open.
Well,
My brother.
My,
all right.
My brother, my sister, my cousins, my uncles.
Yes.
How about that letter?
Wow.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
The Preston and Steve Show brought to you today by The Letter.
You as in unbelievable.
All right. It's unbelievable. We have a great prize that we're giving away on Friday, and it is an Impractical Jokers Mega VIP prize pack, and it includes the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to introduce Q, Murr, and Sal to the crowd at Freedom Mortgage Pavilion on Friday, February 3rd, plus a meet and greet with the guys and a backstage dressing room for you to have. You can chill in. There's snacks and drinks.
It's crazy.
And you also get 4 of the best seats in the house. Oh, we're not done yet. Transportation to and from the show.
Wow.
And a merch pack as well. And we, the President Steve Show, present the Impractical Jokers Drive Tour, which is Friday, February 3rd at Freedom Mortgage Pavilion, and tickets are on sale now through Ticketmaster. So we give that away on Fridays.
You don't hear packages like that much these days.
No, I mean, you guys have the best prizes. Let's face it. Every single week, whether it's the letter of the week or other stuff during the week. I mean, you have amazing prizes, but this is so sweet.
This is a good one, yeah.
Really cool.
What's up on the program today?
Well, we've gotten another of the signed copy of Måneskin's album called Rush. It's out on Friday, and everybody who wins the record this week on vinyl will be in the running for a Måneskin custom little turntable, which will be cool. And they're a really fun and cool band. This is their 3rd album coming out on Friday. We have workforce blocks that include the Eagles, that include Korn for Jonathan Davis's birthday, and Excitable Boy, the amazing record from Warren Zevon, was released today in 1978, 45 years ago.
Love that album.
So, yeah, it's magnificent. From Johnny Strikes Up the Band, Werewolves, of course, Excitable Boy, and Roland the Headless Thompson Gunner. Those are just the ones I can remember. So we will do a block from that album.
Wonderful.
And maybe
All right.
some drift away songs for Nick.
Yeah, please. All right, let me take a moment to thank our sponsors. Preston and Steve Show has been brought to you today by Dunkin'. Preston and Steve Show runs on Dunkin', also brought to you by Acme. Markets, of course, fresh foods, local flavors. Tomorrow on the program, we'll do a bunch of stuff, and we'll have a guest joining us in studio. Sports reporter Stephen A. Smith.
Hey, wow. How about
ESPN
that?
and the Inquirer and all that stuff is going to be in town for, is he doing an appearance, Nick?
Yeah, he has a new book, and so he's going to be at the Free Library, and it'll be interesting because I know he's a polarizing guy, but I think he's a great radio guy, so we'll be having him in studio tomorrow.
All right, That's it. We're done. Rage on and have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow, friend. Goodbye.